Ooh. Okay, so Nabil the Ranger is looking to figure out the nature. Can you describe do you remember what the thing looks like?
Yeah, it looks like a crystal tree, you said, with leaves on it, but it actually holds a liquid inside it. It's some kind of so it appears to be some kind of potion.
Oh yeah. So I think you could spend that day finding answers, looking for, talking,
All right.
going around town, looking for people that might know a thing or two.
Well, since my familiar territory is civilization, I'm going to spend a point of awareness to treat that as a 10 plus.
Oh my God. Well, plus, I mean, you also have a charisma of +3, I believe, right? So
Yes.
everybody wants to help out the little mouse running around town.
That's why I went for that picture. It's sort of like that, cute looking little heartrending.
Right. Giant eyes, shiny eyes. Okay. So I think that, and for on a 10 plus, the judge gives you a clear and thorough answer, and you may ask follow-up questions. However, the answer is limited by the fact that this is sort of an ancient item that you found. I think Abir, who Nabil knows, right? Because that mission to the ruins was Abir sent you on that. So Abir is like one of the first people you talk to because you know that he's got his hand in all kinds of dealings of that kind of stuff, and he recognizes it as the work of an alchemist who. So that river that that split the ruined city that you guys called the River of Life. That's what the Ajak called it. And there was an alchemist known to dwell somewhere on that river. Nobody's sure where. And various items here and there have come through Abir's shop that have the mark of this tree on it. So this is the mark of an alchemist. An Ajak alchemist. However, Abir has never seen, all he's ever gotten is like broken things, right? Like there might be like a fragment of a ceramic bottle that had the tree pressed into it, or an ancient wax seal, that had that image on it. So he's very interested in you, in this item.
I'm sure he is.
But he has no idea what might be in it. He can just tell you that it was fabricated by this particular alchemist, and because that was the best possible financiers role you could get, nobody else in Munhadir will be able to give you a better answer.
All right. Well, Nabil's not going to hang on to it for now. He's not selling this thing off when he doesn't know what he's giving up.
Okay.
That sounds questionable.
Oh, a little sip. Come on, a little taste. A little, just a little. Oh, an adorable little rodent pinky. A little teeny tiny little drop for a teeny tiny little person.
You know, it's what Laylee would do.
Yes, I know.
Okay. So we are in town. Oh, and during this day of all this activity that we talked about, which is, gotta check my calendar.
As we have come back from the mission where we fought dodged the giant lizard, visited the witches and the maybe standing stones, and came back with like a ridiculous hoard of treasure hoard, O-R-D-E. No, it's O-R-A-H-O-A-R-D. Oh, it's homonym time. A ridiculous hoard of treasure that we divvied up split it up. Everybody got lots of gold and split off to try to figure out what their little magic items might do. Though Laylee knows hers, and Nabil will eventually know his.
We'll see. Yeah, and that was like 2 weeks ago, because then you guys
Yeah.
went to up into the mountains.
Oh gosh, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you,
Yeah.
you had the whole
That's, oh man, we have been busy.
encountered those assassins, and this is so now we're on the 11th of Birdsong, so it's late spring. Laylee, would you roll for the weather? 2d6, no modifiers.
That is a 6.
Okay. So yeah, pouring right now, like total flood watch kind of weather. The streets are, muddy streets. There's gushers coming off the hillside. Munhadir is the ancient kind of drainage that the Ajat had in place for this has not been maintained. So some streets are just it's up to their calves, just like water flowing down the streets and trying to find its way out. So on a day like this, people just try to find high ground. And so you've had that conference with your friends, and you want to send off some street kids to buy a house. Is that right?
Yes, I do.
Is that the plan?
With a bag of 250 silver or coin, whatever it's called here.
All right, awesome. So here's Mujar, your friend, the leader of the gang.
No, I'm the leader.
Sorry.
Let's just get this straight.
Let's get this straight. Have you asserted that at this point, or are you just kind of leader by kind of gentle?
Everyone knows it.
Everyone knows it.
Everything
Okay.
he said. I mean,
Okay.
of course, everyone just knows it.
And I think we already established that Mujar has sort of exceeded your, because you've treated her very well, and
Exactly.
I think that's all worked out. Okay, so Mujar is basically your lieutenant
Yes.
and
That's
in
why I'm
charge
trusting
of.
her with this.
Great. So she shows up, and you give her the pouch of silver, which is more money than she's ever held in one place before. I just have to look up on my ever-growing NPC table. I have to refer to. All right, cool. Great. And what are your instructions to her?
So I give her the bag of coin and I say, okay, so you need to find a house, but nothing too flashy, but nothing too scummy either. Like a place where you and the others would want to live, but a place that's not so nice that it would attract too much attention. And when you buy it, it will be yours and it will be everyone's, and you can come and go as you please, and you can live there for free, and my friends and I will keep you safe, and if you get hurt, we'll take care of it, and if people threaten you, we'll take care of that too, and all you have to do in exchange is, do some favors for me sometime. Sound good, right?
We don't need anybody to keep us safe, Laylee. We can take care of ourselves.
I mean, I'm just saying that if that happens, I'll look out for you, because that's what friends do. They look out for each other, and they take care of each other.
Okay. Where do you want me to look? What part of town?
Pick where you want to live, and where the others want to live. It's going to be yours, so you should choose.
Okay, I guess you are the boss.
But not too nice, because you don't want to draw too much attention, because attention is bad.
I get it. Okay, and then she leaves with the money.
Well, That's either gonna be bad or good.
At this point, I think what's your wisdom? What's Laylee's wisdom?
9.
Okay. Generally taking people at face value.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, you know, no reason not to trust Mujar. Has stood you well so far.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna
Um,
be fantastic.
Alexi, at some point you're gonna have to go back home to before you head out.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And my
Absolutely.
question for you, I think you're the person who was entrusted with the moon shard. Is that right?
Really?
Well, I mean,
that-
can somebody correct
no,
me?
I'm graced by the trust of my colleagues. I'd be happy to hold on to this strange vibrating thing.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, that's really cool. It really is a shard too, isn't it?
It seems to be a piece of something.
Yeah.
That is about like, you know, it's a pretty good size. It's like
Oh, real? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. It's like weight 2, I think. It's like a
You're kidding me.
no,
Wow.
it's big.
Just imagining it as like a little like pocket mirror size, sort of
Yeah.
like, oh, I've got the moon shard right here, you know. But it's actually like technically, Jason, I think it's been misapplied. This is a moon chunk.
Yeah, moon chunk. Yeah.
This is much more of a moon chunk.
You know, you can carry it under one arm and it's not like incredibly heavy, but it is bulky. So I guess I want to know where Alexi or the team, where the group has decided it's going to be hidden. Like how are you guys? Because it is hard. You could just carry it around with you, I guess, in your bag if you never wanted to leave your site. But I'm curious if you.
Yeah, it feels like we wouldn't have taken it on the cartography expedition though.
Right.
Yeah.
So where's the place for safekeeping?
I would suggest that Alexi has, you know, next to his little kind of hole, because he lives on the kind of cliffside with the little
Yeah.
waterfall coming off.
Yeah.
The drops, the falls.
The drops.
Yeah. The drops, yeah. He lives in the drops, and I would expect that in the
Maybe like right around in here.
yeah, that's right. And in there is he's got two things. One, he's got a little kind of hovel that's got like altar of Zemdrak and that kind of stuff that he preaches from, but that's pretty, it's not super well attended as much as he would like it to be. But there is, he's kind of hollowed out something behind the altar of Zemdrak that, no, it would be under the altar of Zemdrak, being an earth aspected deity that is for secret treasures. And he puts it under there with a prayer to Zemdrak for safekeeping, that we can even put a little Zemdrakian mojo on that if that's useful.
Yeah. What?
I can assure you, Nabil is there whenever you're preaching.
Oh, Nabil, man, at the heart of my heart.
And that is in your quarters, or that a separate little kind of niche in the wall, in the cliff wall?
I think it's a separate niche. I think it is the sort of the little, you know.
Interesting. So like facing one of these walkway ledges? Or is it like a little thing you enter and then there's a little niche inside a little cave?
Yeah, I think you enter, there's a little antechamber kind of stuff, and then you go through. Of course, the way this all works out is you may end up having to walk through Alexi's sort of living room and sleeping quarters to make it into the, you know, it's very much like tumbled upon each other and not enough space for anything, but, you know, people make do.
So pilgrims sometimes just walk through your living space to get to the.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well, I mean, we imagine that there'd be pilgrims day and night. I mean, that's what it would be like in Alexi's heart, but you know,
it's just
it's not that busy.
It's
You know?
Nabil coming in.
Yeah.
Nabil, do you crash at Alexi's, or do you have your own place?
No, I think Nabil probably lives up on the plateau. He has a place. He's found himself reveling in his new wealth. He's found himself a place that isn't a complete dump, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, because he can't really imagine being rich, so he stashed most of it away, but he's found himself at least a reasonably comfortable and safe space where he actually lives.
like a little room with this, like a really modest little place?
Yeah.
Or like, okay, so like a
Yeah,
little
a
room
really
with a
modest little place.
sleeping pallet, and a shuttered window, just a really simple, okay. cool.
Yeah, not too many, not insect infested, that kind of thing. But
Do Alpharon like little spaces, like cozy spaces, or
I would tend to think so. Yeah,
yeah,
you
okay.
know, like I think some probably they live underground some of the time too, especially when it's hot, right? It's because it's cooler in the
Yeah, in
cooler in
fact,
basements and so forth. So when you're furred, that's especially important. So I suspect he may have even found an underground, but a nice little underground basement apartment.
yeah, I want to say that there's probably one or more Alpharon innkeepers that have places specifically for that they've and that have been dug out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
where your people go and stay there because they're exactly the kind of place you like to sleep. So maybe it's one of those kinds of some kind of housing like that. Okay, cool.
I have a quick add-on,
Yeah.
which is that if you think about, there's some, so Zemdrak is not part of the, the Eucridi pantheon. He's a bit of an outsider god, and is, I would imagine, therefore not in good odor with the religious forces that are in Munda here. And so I'm imagining that the Church of Zemdrak is sort of like what you see in some areas where there are religions that are practiced that are not part of the mainstream tradition, and therefore they have to kind of go hidden. So the entrance to the little thing is through Alexi's living quarters, and it's almost like there's like a wall hanging or something that you almost have to kind of know it's there. So in case the the Liamut belief squad shows up, it's just my humble home,
Oh, okay.
but
So
only amongst the true believers, we make the nod, we pull back the drapery or we move the bookshelf, and you bow to go in, and then it, with the secret lights kind of burrowed more deeply into the hill than you would think, because this is Zemdrak's kind of thing that Alexi has over his time here, like scraped out a claw at a time. Though possibly it was only a little bit of dirt he moved, because but you have to ask.
So if we say that, like, roughly speaking, this is your little room.
Yes.
And then there's a curtain. And is it just a little niche past the curtain, or is there a little space people can stand with the niche within that?
No, I think it's actually a place where like you can fit half a dozen believers.
Oh,
if
okay.
Very
Okay.
intimate with, I mean, unprofessionally intimate, but
okay. And then like a
it's
little niche.
actually bigger than Alexi's air. Like Alexi's quarters are
Yeah.
pretty humble. Like
Right,
that's where, if it was a one bedroom, that would be the one bedroom, and Alexi would be the tiny little kitchen that, you can reach the front door.
Okay, cool. So it's like, okay, so there's plenty of space in there for that. Is there anything else in the shrine chamber besides the little, I'm picturing a little nook in the wall where there's some kind of statue of a earth dragon or something like that, or however Zemdrak is represented?
Yeah, it's a symbol. I don't think we're at the point of idolatry. I don't think we've actually got Zemdrak. I think it's a symbolic thing, but it's carved out of the rock, and there are little kind of little chairs, little chunks, little small rocks or whatever. Maybe there's one or two kind of broken down benches, and not long, but you know what I mean, like little tiny simple.
Yeah.
So a very humble kind of place, and probably the biggest problem is ventilation, which we haven't fully worked out, where we got a little illumination, we got 6 people, and Alexi won't, as you guys have noticed, shut up. So that's probably the big issue.
Okay. So carved on the interior, and then if you're going to go retrieve the moon shard from its hiding place, what would you do?
Alexi, of course, mumbles, doesn't mumble, because he says several prayers to Zemdrak, and then he actually has to take the panel. How do I see this? Yeah, I think it is. There's a bit of simple furniture that's made out of wood that is the altar kind of painted. And then you actually open the little cabinet, and there's a little plank of wood that you can actually lift out. And under that is the space where the moon shard is.
Okay. So there's like a little, it's not Got it. There's like a little
Yeah,
wooden, and then what's on top of that? Or so behind that is the carvings on the wall.
behind that's a carving on the wall. And on
Okay.
top of it, I think are going to be just a lot of, it's going to be like an early Sting video. There's going to be a lot of candles.
Candles and stuff like that.
Lots of candles, maybe from the Share catalog, actually.
Do you know they have those salt candles where you can use salt crystals? Anyway, I'm just because of the earth god thing. I was
No,
thinking,
no,
like,
I think that would be much
some kind of
much more Alexi's probably much more inventive about this than his player is. So yeah, no, absolutely. You know, the earth aspected kind of
okay.
crystal. If Alexi could afford a geode, which actually technically he probably can now, but if he was thinking about it, there would be, you know, various kind of
Okay.
simple earth treasures.
Oh boy. What neighbor are you closest with?
Closest with, oh gosh, what's her name? I'm gonna need a name, but the lady next door's she's a little bit of a granny, has got 2 or 3 sons. One of them actually worked in the mines that we liberated. The other 2 have various jobs in the city, and we taught, you know, she was a little disappointed when Alexi went to, you know, save the iron miners, that he didn't actually look up her son. That was he'd sort of promised to kind of do, but didn't quite get around to it, and is trying to come up with, I'm sure he's fine, but she worries, you know how she worries, and he
Right,
never writes her son.
Okay, great.
She's uninterested in Zemdrach and is just kind of politely nods, but every now and then Alexi gets, you know, a nice little extra portion of something because she thinks he's in need of care.
Her name is Hanuna,
Hanuna,
Yeah.
my neighbor.
and she lives in that next kind of cave over from you. And is there any other business at the big before? So we're gonna actually follow Alexi home as an opening scene. But is there anything that anybody wants to do, like so Layli sent off Mujar to go buy a house. Nabil has consulted with Abir about this potion. Is there any other stuff you guys wanted to do at the meeting or after the meeting?
There's a shenanigan I want to do that's related to this mission that we're going on, but I don't know if it's better done after Alexi's scene or like before. So, so you tell me. It's definitely related to the mission. It's not like downtime-ish stuff.
Yeah. If it's directly related to the mission, yeah, we'll just wait till after Alexi goes home.
Shenanigans later then.
Nabil, are you off talking to Abir, or do you reconnect with Alexi after that and come home with him, or do you have some other business you want to do? Sorry, you're muted, Kevin.
I think Nabil is actually off looking for dinner somewhere, probably at this point. You know, he's like he can afford food now, so he's actually suddenly decided to try out all sorts of different places and find out what he actually likes, because
great.
he doesn't have to just eat whatever he can scrape off the streets.
I'm just picturing him at a tall stool in the market, and somebody's got like a wooden bowl. There's pouring rain outside, right? Somebody has like a wooden bowl with a wooden top on it, and they lift it up, and it's like steaming dumplings, and they set it in front of Nabil, who's finally got silver to spend.
Yes, and he just sits there for a moment with his, you know, little bit of drool on his mouth, and then he dives into them.
Right. So Nabil's having some hot dumpling soup. And Alexi, you have to make your way home through the rain. So bit of a slog.
Yeah.
By the time you get home, you know, you're soaking wet. You're, despite the walking stick, you're pretty sure on your feet, right? Like when it comes to it.
Yeah, their claws have a little grip to them.
So on the way down the stairs to get to your nook, you know, the humans and Ibanaquans who are going up and down, those few that are actually braving the rain to go up and down the drops, you know, are like clinging to the wall and being very careful. Every once in a while somebody slips, but when Alexi descends, it's like in a measured, careful, you know, but with a certain sureness about it because of the ability to grip the ground with the talons and the connection to the earth. And this outlet, this waterfall that cascades down the middle of the drops is the main kind of drainage for the city. So that's just like the entire opening is just a gout of water. There's just like this huge torrent of water pouring out of there. And you can't see, visibility is only like 30 or 40 feet. Like looking out down the valley, it just quickly turns to like gray and mist. You come down and you pass Hanuna's cave, and she lunges out of the doorway and grabs you by the arm. And she says, "Someone has come. Someone is in your home."
No. Who is in my house? Who has come?
One of your kind, a Buma.
Oh, that's not good. I am the nicest Puma there is. All the rest are not nice. Ugh. Scary looking?
Yes, armor and one eye.
With Liamut. Oh my God. With one eye. How long?
He's been in there 5 minutes. Or she? I don't know your people.
Wow.
He asked where you were, and I said I did not know.
Well, it's been nice, guys. Yeah, absolutely. This must come. What is her name? Hanuna?
Yeah.
Hanuna?
Yeah, Hanuna.
Hanuna, take this silver piece and get a message to Layli and to find Layli in the marketplace, or Nabil, and have them come here as quickly as possible. I will likely need help.
So Hanuna is not a young woman.
She is not.
And she like looks at the silver piece and she looks up at the water pouring down the drops, and she's like, "You want me to
Get someone from the neighborhood, one of the kids who owes you a favor or something, someone agile. Don't hurt yourself, but get help and get it quickly."
from the how would they find this, the demon killer, the roof runner?
Any of the kids in the marketplace will know her.
And tell her what?
Tell her, come to Alexi's. He needs help.
Oh, okay. And then she like sees down below on the walkway down below you, she sees a kid like, she actually sees some kids splashing in the rain, like, playing. And she says, "Boy, boy," and she yells down. So that's starting to happen.
Great. Holding on to the staff, and with a gosh, Zemdrak, look out for your errant wayward son who is going to do something foolish. Alexi steps in out of the rain to the house, and I guess he sees what he sees.
Yeah. So you so the sound of the downpour kind of lessens as you step into that. The outside sound is kind of like muffled as you step through the entryway and you peer around the corner, and so I guess it is unlit, right? Because you wouldn't leave any open flames in your home. There is dim gray light coming in from behind you, and you're very good eyes and half light, so you see that your home is in complete disarray. It's been completely torn apart. I mean, in some cases, literally torn apart. Like, I don't know what sleeping.
Oh, my favorite pillow.
Yeah, right.
Those were my feathers in
Those are
there.
your own feathers, yeah. So it's the place has been tossed, and I assume it's sort of humble.
Oh yeah.
If anything could be broken, it has been broken. Like there's a shattered clay pot, and
my teas are all scattered, aren't they?
yes,
All those little meticulously collected jars of tea have been.
Yes, they're totally scattered, and the curtain that leads to the shrine has been torn from its whatever rod or whatever it was affixed to. It's been torn and is lying in a heap at the entryway there.
I'm gonna rush over as silently as possible and stick my owly head through there and step into what I will point out is Zemdrak's holiest place in the city.
I didn't even think about that.
And I think, I'm taking a breath because if it's who I think it is, we're about to do a little, I think I'm burning all my favor, frankly.
Oh my God. Wow.
'Cause-
Okay.
This aggression cannot stand.
They're going for it.
I mean, who cares about the moon chunk? This is Zemdrak's holiest place that was
Yeah.
being tossed by I believe an R2 associated follower.
Right. Oh my God.
So we're this is real God on God action here. I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me.
Roll to get lucky. First of all, that's the first thing to do.
All right. Roll to get lucky. So this is just an unadorned 2d6, correct?
Plus whatever your luck modifier is.
Plus, if it's a minus, it's a minus.
It's a
Okay.
minus, yeah.
So this is at -1 because my luck is currently 7. Which is fine because it's a 5. I
Okay.
rolled a 6 -1.
Oh, okay. So it was already kind of, poorly furnished or minimally furnished, let's say. You did your best. I guess the furniture is the seating is kind of where it usually is, but that wooden cabinet, whatever was on top has been swept aside. The wooden thing, the thing has been removed.
We
And-
used to find those candles.
And when you throw open the curtain, or sorry, you don't, but you step into the room, and Dusan, someone who you recognize as Dusan. Let me just.
Now, our good friend Nabil does not know Dusan.
That's right.
And you're going to have to help me out. Dusan was the son of our ill-fated, not ill-fated, well, ill-fated because they ran into us, but
Yeah.
the self-absorbed academic astronomer who hired us to find the moon chunk.
The moon shard. Yeah.
And then the sort of priest of R2, who was no good, a no goodnik of the first quality. And Dusan was his sort of bodyguard, kind of right-hand owl. And there were shenanigans that Dusan, I think, got shot.
Yeah, I believe Anid, the archer. Shot him.
Son of Vanda and Bohumir. Yeah. And we only found out, I think, later the relationship.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So after the fact, fantastic. And kind of a big, imposing Buma who was just a badass. Like very, very tough and awful.
So he turns around and he's holding the moon shard. So he's got it. He like turns around to face you, and he's got it in his hand, and it's glowing faintly.
All right. Alexei holding up, which always he carries with him, his holy symbol, is about to curse the living F out of Dusan.
Wow. All right.
Because this is horrible. Alexei's, got one small little place of sanctity in this whole awful city, and it has been violated by this guy who is, really associated with all the stuff that Alexei left in the city of a million feathers, and also on some level represents somebody who's much more connected to power than Alexei has been in a very long time. And so, he represents on some level all that Alexei is kind of lost in his downfall. And Alexei, the most downtrodden Buma, he thinks anyway, in Monday here, not even this place is sacred to Zemdrak. Is safe. And here is Dusan. So with all the kind of the rage and outrage, not only, I got to be honest, not only about the sin of trespassing on Zemdrak, the actual desecration, but also about Alexei's kind of wounded sense of self and pride. Because here's somebody who has got, honor and standing and is loved by other Buma, which Alexei most certainly isn't. And so there's a lot of wounded soul getting poured into this, in addition to the holy stuff. Yeah, so let's see, for favor, we're gonna invoke.
Yeah. You got your holy symbol. You got your occupy a place sacred to your faith.
Yeah.
So that
So
gives you
that's-
+2.
That's +2, and
What are you trying to do? What are you asking? Zemdrak?
yeah, I'm gonna ask Zemdrak to strike down this unbeliever who is trespassing our this sacred space. Now, if you're asking me, does that mean like I think I'm going for an astonishing feat?
You're gonna try to kill him outright.
Oh, you know,
Or, I mean,
think-
this doesn't have to be killing. It can be you want to like take him out of commission,
yeah,
like incapacitate.
yeah. I mean, Alexi's really mad, and if he calls down too much force and it kills him, that would be a matter of tremendous regret for Alexi. But I don't think Alexi's not thinking so clearly right now, and is just, you know, you shall not pass. Here's the staff. But he's got the multicolored stick. Yeah, no. Zemdrak, strike you down for this blasphemy.
Okay, so if that's 4, that's -4. So now you're at -2 with the holy symbol in this in the
Yeah.
place. So how much
Uh,
favor are you gonna spend there?
I'm gonna burn it all. I don't think Alexi's not gonna leave anything in the tank. So that's gonna be +2 to this,
+2.
and plus also charisma, correct? Or wisdom?
Not for invoke, no.
Oh,
Nope,
interesting.
it's just favor. That's it.
It's straight up favor.
Yeah, and before you do this though, what is maybe you get to this, how are you using the domain of Zemdrak? What about earth are you, or music, are you pulling in to strike him down? Like it has to somehow draw upon the domain.
Yeah.
Or is it literally just a rock? A rock on the ground comes up and smites him?
May the earth swallow you up. That seems like
What's
We're
that?
gonna bury him.
Okay, just like, okay.
We're gonna entomb a large, if not entire chunk of him, like in the earth. So one claw is on the it's actually touching the bare earth of the hovel. The other has got the holy symbol, and actually the multicolored staff has just clattered to the floor.
Okay.
So you know, the holy symbol hand touching the earth, and of course Alexi doesn't really wear boots because he's just got the claws.
Yeah.
The
So the
claws are
claws are digging
also
in.
sunk into the earth, and you know, may Zemdrak, you know, you who've profaned Zemdrak's sacred place, Zemdrak who now claims you for his own.
Ooh, okay. You got a +2.
All right, here we go. Survey says, well, die number 1 is a 4. Let's see what the other one is. Oh my gosh, it's an 8 + 2 is a 10.
Okay. And what does that look like?
The ground beneath Dusan's feet becomes not just quicksand, but almost like an active quicksand kind of rushing up, and he is, I'm sure, deeply unsettled, and the one eye probably pops right open. His choice is probably to either clutch the moon chunk or to drop the moon chunk, but he is going to be he's going to be up to his neck.
And is it like a Devil's Mountain kind of, or what's that? Is that what it's called in Close Encounters?
Oh, yeah. The I know what you mean.
Like it sweeps up and like up to his neck, basically.
Yeah. And just holds him there. And it is thick, viscous stuff. He is, because this was astonishing. He is just out of commission, because we could have killed him with this, but I'm not, well, I don't know.
Locked him in place.
Heart isn't in killing at this point in his life, though he's plenty mad.
I think there is one iota of recognition that Dusan is caught between two parents, and because he lives with his father out in that compound where there's nobody, like Dusan is not necessarily like one of Buma society, right? Like, so maybe in some part of Alexi's heart he has recognized that, and that may be where some of the mercy comes from. But
fair enough.
Yeah, so and his hands, I think his hands are like stuck outside of it, right? It kind of
Yeah.
comes up and his hands are there, and he's still gripping it, but his hands are just locked in place by this
Yeah.
this earth that has encased him. What are you doing, priest?
This may be the last time you'll ever trespass on Zemdrak's sacred ground.
I will kill you.
Do you really mean that?
Yes, let us fight, owl to owl.
We have fought. Zemdrak, not I, is the victor here. You will acknowledge Zemdrak's supremacy and follow his path, or you will not leave here, Owl. Owl, by the way, is a dirty word for the Buma, is where I'm at.
Oh, is it? Is it a bad?
I think so.
It's a
Well,
bad.
because other people would use that, and you know, the Buma are just the Buma. And
Yes, right.
They get shirty
Yeah.
if you
Right.
call them an owl.
Got
It's a little derogatory.
Or like a little wild, like not civilized, right?
Yeah,
Like-
yes. Oh my God. Yeah. That's the split between the Buma, and owls are more bestial.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind
So
of
he
the
calls you that.
unevolved Buma. Yeah.
Arthur will rise up and strike your god as I will strike you given the chance. And he just kind of goes, he's just like yelling at you.
Can I take the moon chunk?
Yeah, sure. No, you can take it right out of his hands. He can't
I'm gonna-
really, he's like, he kind of tries to hold on to it, but you with a quick tug, you can kind of yank it. That makes
Alexi
sense.
takes the moon chunk out of his hands, not in a mean way, sets the moon chunk down, pulls a little fabric or something over the moon chunk, picks up one of the candles, lights it, puts it down, goes out to try to scrape up enough to make tea while Dusan comes back, and maybe it's just with a little cup of rainwater or something like that, sits down.
I think when you're out there doing make any sort of cleaning up a little bit in the room, Layli and Nabil arrive.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And so they come in. Alexi's intent is just to kind of sit and let, because I don't think there's a duration on this. I think he's just stuck.
I think there's got to be a duration because there's miracle worker lets you make something permanent.
I got you. Oh, yeah, I'm not talking weeks, but I would certainly imagine
It's got a duration of 3. So,
Three.
And that's an abstract thing.
duration.
So I'm going to say between Layli and Nabil showing up and you making the tea, one of those 3 is marked off. So he's got
Okay.
two more ticks on his duration.
2 more durations. Great. Alexi's just going to not kind of get into it with Dusan and let him kind of screech himself out, and just, you know, offer him some tea if he would like. He can spoon it in if Dusan would like, and you know, he'll offer tea to Layli and Nabil. And that Dusan is sort of rendered helpless and almost as sort of like a very aggressive, yelly, but immobile piece of furniture that Alexi is trying not to let get under his feathers.
Yeah, he kind of like
revered teacher, is this a rite of Zemdrax with which I have not yet become familiar?
This is what happens to those who trespass against Zemdrak. And this is frankly one of the more merciful things that happened. This Buma could have been buried under 50, I don't know, whatever, could have been buried deep in the earth, never to see the light of day, again, never to take another breath that wasn't dirt. But instead, Zemdrak's mercy has allowed him to still breathe. Whether he continues to breathe is a little bit up to him. So I'm trying to give him a little space. I found a little bit of leek tea back here. Can I offer either of you a cup? It's not as warm as it might be.
Shouldn't we
I
get
thank
out
you
of
for-
here while you've got him trapped?
has Layli gone into the room and seen him, or is Layli staying in the sleeping area?
I don't think I've gone back to see him yet.
Okay.
Because if I do, I want to play something.
Okay.
But
Great.
right now, I'm gonna see if we want to get the
So you hear the shouting and you understand that Dusan's back there. Yeah. And Nabil's obviously taking a peek at least to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay.
Shouldn't we just go? we've got the moon shard. Let's just get out of here. Before he, I don't know, breaks out of that thing, of whatever you've got him in.
He keeps on, there's like the invective, and then he like stops while he's getting hoarse, and then there's like a long quiet period where he's not talking at all.
Gotcha.
Look, we can get out of town and just deal with the moon shard like we had planned. And look, I'll throw him off our trail. Okay, so he doesn't come after us, and everything will be fine.
Or revered teacher, if he is going to be a problem in the future, I could take care of that for you.
Yeah. This is a challenge for Alexei.
It's not.
Mm.
I mean, just earlier today, you told me that even if there's someone you don't like, we just don't kill them because they should have the opportunity to do penance. And if we don't give them that opportunity, if we deny them that, then that's not right. So you can't just kill them outright.
It is an
Right?
excellent point you make, Layli. And yet, Dusan has trespassed in Zemdrak's holiest place in 100 miles. This
All
small,
hail Zemdrak.
this small little sanctuary that Dusan has polluted with his presence, taken what is Zemdrak's and certainly not his. And has made, I think he may now be realizing, is that maybe one of the most terrible mistakes of his life. And the question really, making pointed eye contact with Dusan, is how is Dusan going to make amends so that he can walk, fly, or limp out of this space? For he may never see the light again. This is angrier, by the way, than you guys have ever seen Alexei. Like, he is like mad. In kind of
Well, of course, he has defiled the temple. What death is a suitable punishment for people who do that kind of thing, right?
It may be. Dusan, what say you? Is there a reason you can give us?
So not kill me?
Yes.
If you kill me, you will have the vengeance of both my mother and my father to deal with, not to mention that of R2 himself. I am his sworn servant. Much like your mouse here is to you. I am to R2.
Oh, this is a conundrum, colleagues. This is a conundrum. Layli, I agree we should leave immediately and seek out what we were going to seek out.
Second duration is being marked.
Fantastic. So here's how Alexei is going to try to play this, and I don't know if it'll be successful, but Alexei will suggest to Layli that she get anything that she needs. Alexei will be right after her. And Alexei says quietly to Nabil, will no one rid Zemdrak of this troublesome owl?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I think there's no chance Alexei's getting into a good alignment on another 8 or 10 or 20 sessions. I'm sorry. But I just like in this moment with this place profaned and this little tiny sanctuary that he carved out, like this is incredibly upsetting. And Alexei's doing something I think he's going to regret for a while.
Okay. So you and Layli.
All right. So
yeah.
So I take the hint and I wait for Layli to go off on her business.
Oh, but before we go, I want to talk to him.
Okay.
Just
What do you want to say?
myself and him. Is that okay?
Sure.
So I'm going to go back in and talk to him. And I guess I'll introduce myself because I don't think we've actually met. But I guess it's sort of my fault that you're here. I'm sorry.
So the fury renews.
But
He doesn't speak, but when you say that and he realizes who you are and he realizes you're the one who stole what was taken. Like he just like his feathers, he's
All right.
just
While Lily's doing that, Nabil is just getting, just taking a few moments to make sure all his blades are sharp and
okay. All right.
So, listen, I know you're upset about this and everything, and I'm sure that your parents told you to come back and get this shard from us. But listen, I want you to know that we're kind of on the same side, because I know this is going to sound really crazy and you're not going to believe me, but after after I took that shard from your dad and you, Arthur appeared to me, right? And he was really pleased, and he actually thought it was a really clever thing that I did, taking it from him. And I don't think he was upset at all, which means that you shouldn't be upset, because it means that really everything worked out the way Arthur wanted. And my friends are really upset, and I don't know if they're going to hurt you, but I think Arthur would tell you that you should probably lie to them and say that you're sorry so that you don't get killed. At least that's what I think. I don't know, I only talked to him once, but I think that's what he would want. Do you know what I mean?
You lie.
I'm not lying, I promise. I promise, I'm just trying to help.
May he take your heart and feed it to the 100 birds.
No, really, you should listen to me. I think
Listen to you?
everything. Okay.
He's enraged. Not only does he feel like the idea that you're asserting that you were visited by Arthur, like not only is that like outrageous to him, but that someone who's not even, you know what I mean, like he's devoted his adult life to this god. So here comes this human kid who's making these claims. So he's just like, yeah, he's apoplectic.
Okay. I was just trying to help. I guess I'll leave you now. I hope everything turns out okay. And that you think about what I said. And oh, and by the way, when I broke into your dad's place, do you know that he still has a picture of your mom in his desk drawer? Of your mom in his desk drawer? I think they might still have a thing for each other.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm just gonna go now.
Keep this.
Wow.
That's
Awkward
like,
family moment flashback.
is this
I
what's
feel like
the,
she wanted to get that in there.
yeah, whoa, that's a thought to leave him with before what what's the last thing we see of Nabil before we cut away?
Oh, nice
Oh.
choice of words. Yeah.
Yes. So after Nabil waits for Lady to leave, and then you see him walk. I think what last picture you see Nabil walk, taking out the nice feather steel dagger and walking into the. Oh no! Actually, then he turns. Revered teacher. I feel I should not do it here. It would be an further affront to Sendrak to finish this matter in his holiest temple. Would it not?
I think this holy place has been profaned by this son of Artu, and we may need to, oh God, what's the quote? The earth is often refreshed by the blood of unbelievers. It was not Zemdrak's choice that this would happen today in this place, but this is how it is. This is how it has come to pass.
Very well, if it is Zemdrak's will. And the Batmobile pulls out the feather steel dagger and heads on into the back.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, colleagues. I didn't think we were going full murder hobo this early in the thing, but I just didn't see a way
Yeah,
out. for
no,
Alexi,
it totally, yeah, it makes
because
sense.
he's gonna regret the hell out of this.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even think that about the fact that he was going right into the holy shrine. Like I was just like, he just wants that moon shard. So like,
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't thinking.
and
either,
let's remember that you put it there.
No, consequences, man.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. It was awesome.
So then there's a long panning shot of Moonhide as the rain falls, right? And like maybe even like some distant rumble of thunder. And the rain's just pouring down.
And then I think a faint image of a body, pants filled with rocks, tumbling down through that waterfall.
Over the drops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Whoop. Where am I? Whoop, don't look.
Wow, I just
Yeah.
had one of those like flashbacks where I
Yeah,
saw a
right.
whole bunch of visions.
Prophetic.
And we're not going to know until Act 3 what any of them actually meant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
So
falling-
yeah.
Throw the body off over there, load it down with rocks so it doesn't float for a while.
They are light bodies, the Buma.
Right. So
Oh, wow. Blood and souls for my Lord Zemdrak. My goodness gracious.
and then we'll catch up with all three of you, I guess, on your way out. Right?
Well, talk about get the heck out of Dodge. I mean, we have motive and opportunity to leave as quickly as possible.
So since Laylee doesn't know that you actually killed him. before
Yes,
we
was
leave,
hoping for plausible deniability and
Yeah.
I'm going to complicate things for you because this was my shenanigan that I was going to do, but
Yeah.
I'm going to play it out anyway. So before we go, Laylee is going to grab a few of like her street kid gang. Just going to tell them that there's this Buma, this really tough Buma who's being held captive in this house in the drops. And you need to find a way to let him overhear you talking about me and my friends leaving town, and tell him we're going, and what's like the opposite direction from where we're going?
To the capital, or to
Tell them that we're going to the capital to try to sell the moonshard.
or to Mawia.
what
Yeah,
we
it's the
heard-
capital. Yeah, great. Yeah.
Yes. Tell them that you heard me say that and that I'd be gone for a few days. And make sure that he hears it because I want him to try to follow me that way. All right.
Yeah. So they're down with the plan.
And I guess they'll find a dead body.
Or not.
no.
It's
No.
in the lake. They'll find some blood.
But
That's
you
for
clean
sure.
up the blood?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we
no.
clean up the blood.
Please?
Like,
And Beale's a tiny little guy.
It feels like a fastidious cleaner.
yeah, no. You don't leave it. You don't leave a mess behind. That's no good. You know, it's everything has like we don't know what happened to him. Nobody knows what happened to him.
What happens when the ranger becomes the murder suspect?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Little me?
Before we leave town, Alexi's going to pray to attempt to regain favor, and let's find
Yeah,
out whether
right.
whether Zemdrak looks favorably upon this or not. Let's see.
So that is wisdom or charisma.
Yep.
+1 if you have your holy symbol. +1 if you occupy a place sacred to your faith. That place has been profaned.
Yeah.
So you get +1 for your holy symbol, and then
Yeah, I mean, open to interpretation, but I don't think that's a holy place to Zemdrak anymore. Like I think murdering an opposition force person there is yeah. Zemdrak's not a bloodthirsty kind. Like previous session, Zemdrak was never a bloodthirsty god. We'll find out, but like I don't see this as necessarily enhancing Zemdrak's stamp on this, and I think we're gonna have to move the temple.
Yeah, that's great.
Let me roll this. Well, that is a 4 +1 for the holy symbol, +1 for the charisma. So if it had actually been a sacred spot still, it would have been a success, but instead your prayers go unheard. Mark the ability used and the judge makes a move.
Yeah.
So wow, so Zemdrak is not necessarily endorsing this situation.
Damn.
Yikes.
Maybe he's just too busy fighting with R2 now.
Well,
R2
yeah, talk about,
is laughing.
yeah, getting fights going in the land of the gods. All right, well, 0 favor it is, at least for the time being.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, right, so you're gonna have to wait to pray again
Yeah.
to a time that makes sense.
So Alexei is, touching the earth, calling out to Zemdrak. It's still raining. The rain is kind of pouring down. He's a bedraggled owl in the rain, and Zemdrak is not hearing his prayers. So the temple is broken. Alexei is not looking so hot himself, and his, this thing that redeemed him, connecting to Zemdrak, is got him started back from his nadir. No offense, Nabil. From his nadir is, he's in a really low spot and feeling kind of bereft in multiple ways.
Yeah, so I think my move I'm gonna make here is that you cannot pray for 2 days.
Oh wow! Okay.
Like a period of essentially not really penance, I mean, however you want to interpret that, but you basically like the combination of that emotional effect and the fact that the temple was
well, and that maybe Alexei was misusing his anger, led him to use this in more selfish ways than purely in the interest of Zemdrak. So yeah, all right, not as useful as I was 20 minutes ago, colleagues, sorry.
Oh, but it was so dramatic. It was.
But we got the moon chunk.
Yeah, got the moon chunk. You have the moon chunk.
And perhaps we had best return it to the witches before
an interesting,
more happens.
An interesting question, Jason. Does Alexei or anybody else notice any changes in the moon chunk with all this ecclesiastical drama?
No.
Okay, different kind of energy.
Yeah, different kind of energy. Nothing gets activated by that.
Gotcha.
So this is the 12th of Birdsong. So yeah, on the 13th, actually, and this is why, on the 13th, it's both moons will be new. So it'll be no visible moons on that night. And that's the darkest time of the month. It happens every month on the same days. That's why the calendar is structured that way. And obviously different religions have different meanings associated with the phases of the moon. But on that day, maybe it's that the moons have no, the earth, the light of the moons is not falling upon the earth. So that's when followers of Zemdrak, have time to like start afresh.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Meditate on their sins, or however you want to spin that.
Oh, interesting. And so is that also a holy time for Umalaya?
Sure is.
Yeah. Wow. Conjunction.
It's actually the time, and Alexei would know this, it is considered the time of mourning for Umalaya. There's two days in the middle of the month where the moons are not visible. And legend says that it used to be that all 3 moons were full on those days when all 3 of the sisters were in the sky, and that some great cosmic shift happened after her death, when now those days are when there's no moons visible. They're considered the days of mourning. And different, of different significance to different faiths. Okay. Anything else before you guys leave town? We're good?
Oh, chicken? Rooster?
You're gonna pick up a rooster?
A rooster.
On the way out of town.
Well, we did that last time and it worked out kind of well.
I think there's the pan across all the pouring rain, and then there's like, Truth Market, the plaza is like, a couple inches of water. Most stalls are closed up, but some people there's still some people selling livestock, and Alexei, there's the exchange of coin you hand a coin to a merchant, and they turn around and they turn back, and there's a beautiful rooster with russet feathers and a scarlet comb is handed over.
We don't need to look this up, but how much do you think a rooster is?
Oh, we can just hand wave that. That's not,
okay. Fair enough.
Not even well, actually, how much is a meal? Let's just call it 1 silver. We'll just say 1 silver. A rooster, that'll feed.
Yeah, this is a good looking bird.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just trying.
Yeah.
And I marked down the silver piece I gave to my neighbor. So I'm just letting
Great.
them know I'm trying to keep it
Excellent.
honest.
I appreciate that. All right, so you guys are gonna set out through the pouring rain for Witch's Hill.
And
So
on the
in-
way, what are our goals, colleagues?
Good, good.
Alexi's hoping to find out what's going on with this little moon guy, and Liamut and his allies have been, are more seen more in control of Mundi here than some of the other forces. And Zemdrak's a little bit of a rebellious kind of outsider sort of force. So I think Zemdrak and Alexi would be looking for allies against the sun god, Liamut, who is sort of in ascendant. And is hoping the witches will be a source of information and possibly allies. But I don't know if that is where Layli and Nabil are, or just let's find out what's up with these witchy people.
Well,
I mean,
Nabil wants to go back because last time he was there, they said don't come back unless you change teams, basically, and now
And
now
he's
Nabil's all like,
changed teams.
yeah, so they knew that Zemdrak would.
Yeah. Oh, they called it ahead of time. The Shard Seekers saw that
That's right.
change. Wow.
They must have known somehow.
Yeah.
And
I
also, it's
just
probably
think
good. Getting out of town isn't a bad idea right now.
well, yeah, I think that I just want to figure out how we can free the guy inside the moon shard, because I think he's trapped and I don't think that's good. And I think he's looking for our help. And we probably also should deal with the moon shard before Dusan tracks us down. Because I figure, I don't know, once he realizes that we
Yes.
didn't actually go to the capital, he might be on our trail. So I think we should try to get rid of it as soon as possible, or free the guy
Yes.
as soon as possible.
Yes, let us by all means get rid of the moon shard before Dusan starts looking for us again.
Yeah. The merchant Abir has offered us he says he has friends in the capital who would be mighty interested in the moon shard if that's how we wish to dispose of it. But I agree, colleague Layli, if there's a little man or somebody trapped in it, it would do us well to know who and or what that is, and perhaps consider freeing him if he was not a demon of some sort.
I don't think he is. He seemed nice when he talked to me.
It seems nice.
He seems nice.
Okay, awesome. Let's roll to set out. It's going to be, so in this weather, it's going to be a 2-day trip to Witch's Hill instead of 1 day, but we'll just make one roll for both days. And let's have our ranger roll to set out.
3.
Great.
All right.
Let's bring a ranger along. Ranger's great for setting out.
Layli and Alexi each roll 1d6.
2.
Okay, that's how many rations were. The wet just destroyed those rations. So you guys have to mark it.
Not going to get leaks again like that.
Nabil knows how to keep his food dry, but you guys
Oh, well.
you guys aren't as used to the wild there. So there's a break for an evening meal on that first night, and there's like some rock outcropping you're trying to find shelter underneath of, and you open up your satchel and it's just like a soggy mush, and then maybe there's something else that's wrapped in oilcloth or something like that, but a fair amount of food got too wet.
The first night when we're
Yeah.
all around the fire,
Yeah.
I want to get out the moon shard, and I want to try to, when we all can try, to talk to it to see if the guy would talk to us.
And how are you going to go about that? Okay, so are you having a fire? You're picturing a fire underneath this outcropping that you're seeking shelter under?
Yeah, I think we probably would make a fire because, ordinarily we might be more cautious and not want to draw light or attention to ourselves. But for some reason, I think Nabil and Alexi think it's perfectly fine for us to have a fire this night.
Nabil, what do you think?
Well, smoke isn't going to carry very far in in the rain anyway. It's rainy, it's dark. You're not going to see too much, and the fire will have to be kept small no matter what we do.
Okay. To find, just given the weather, dry firewood is the only issue there, and that's going to be Nabil's job. So
All right.
I would say that would be making a saving throw with how do you think you would look for firewood? It'd probably be intelligence or wisdom.
Yeah, I would think wisdom. He's going to be looking for places where some wood might have kept dry or been sheltered from the rain.
And using his like senses of the wild to
Yeah.
great.
And I have smell to smell out the damp and such. I have an
Yeah.
enhanced sense. So, all right. That is a 6.
You get to mark wisdom.
Yay.
And there's no fire.
Hmm.
Unless somebody had adventuring gear and wanted to spend use to pull some kindling out of their pack, but that would be the only.
Nope.
No, sorry.
Have it.
And no, okay, so then it's dark and yeah, pretty dark. But when you pull out I guess it's probably wrapped up in a cloth or something, right? Like so, and who is Alexi carrying it? Because Alexi has a decent carrying
Alexis
capacity.
probably carrying it unless one of my colleagues is particularly eager for it. I'm saying no, thank you. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Alexi is yeah, because Alexi's now pretty invested in holding on to the moon shard given the price that was paid for it.
Okay, so you unwrap it and it's close to pitch black. So Nabil and Alexi have fair, can see in the dim light, and it's just sort of, it's basically starlight, little bit of moonlight trying to come through that weather, which is not, yeah. So it's pretty pitch black on this outcropping, but you guys can see a little bit. Laylee really can't see much at all. But when you pull out when you unwrap it, there's a very, very faint, it's the kind of glow where like at first it just seems black, but then as your eyes adjust, the moon shard has like this super faint kind of glow to it.
I'm gonna tap it gently, and say hello.
When you tap it, it's a little bit like there's just like a little slightly brighter glow of light like ripples out from where you tap it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Kind of like an LCD screen, like that kind of ripple. Yeah.
Oh, then maybe, and if that's the case, I'll like just touch it there and see, and say again, hello. Is someone inside there? Do you want to talk?
So you're holding it like you're putting your hand out like this, or you're holding it like.
I've got it like in my hand, and then I'll like, once I figure out that it does the glowy thing, yeah, I'll put my fingers to it and I'll kind of
Okay.
touch it.
So there's like experimental, so you put your hand on it for a second, hold it there, and you're like talking and inquiring after who may be inside, and you briefly take your hand off it, and you see that your hand leaves kind of like a handprint there, like a bluish white glow that starts to fade, and then you put your hand back on and continue. Why don't you roll?
Sorry, man.
No, it's great. Are you kidding me? How would you say, what's that kind of attitude Laylee's taking in this kind of seeking contact?
She's trying to be friendly. She's trying to,
Okay.
She wants to be friends with him. She wants to let him know that we're here to talk and that we're here to help him and that we're good people and we can be friends. Because I'm sure he's scared if he's trapped in there, and maybe he's lonely. He was definitely lonely if he's trapped in there.
So human warmth, empathy, you're trying to draw upon. Okay, great. I think you're negotiating. So and you're gonna roll charisma.
Sure I am. Okay. I have a +1 on charisma, which is sort of lovely. I get a 8.
Hmm. So you feel your hand feels a little bit warm. So this feels like, it feels like stone when you touch it. It's cold, right? Despite the glow. So you're sort of saying things to it and talking to whoever, whatever may reside within, and your hand warms up a little bit, and your other hand grows cold. Your hand that's not touching it. And you have this sudden feeling of being aware of the blood moving through your body, your circulation, and energy being drawn down towards the hand that's touching the shard, and the area around your hand starts to glow slightly brighter. And Alexi and Nabil see this, and you feel like some of you is being drawn into the shard, or will be. Like there's a feeling of something being it's a little bit like you're stuck to it, like you're almost magnetically stuck to it, and some of your essence is starting to be drawn out. And if you allow it to happen, you realize you may have some contact with the entity inside.
Well, yeah, of course, I'll do it. I mean, isn't that what friendship is? Like you give of yourself to someone else.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah, this is a great move, but love it. I just want my faces to be misinterpreted. It's just the, love it.
Nice knowing you guys.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
someone get me out of that moonshine prison, please, because
Yeah.
you know
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
where we're going.
So Laylee takes 1d6 points of constitution damage.
Oh, that's good. I've got my con is 10, so that's great.
Okay.
I roll a 3.
Okay.
Nabil, we may have to, get that hand off.
So that means your con modifier is now
Muted.
-1.
Yeah. Do we see anything though? I mean, do we know what's going on? Just because.
Yeah, we're seeing just a brighter glow, I think.
Yeah, you're just seeing
Yeah,
a brighter
I don't think-
glow. Yeah, neither one.
So it's working.
Yeah.
It's working. She's making contact.
Beth, when your con drops in negative like that, you actually lose a hit point as well, because your con modifier drops. So.
Alrighty. All right, so then I'm down to 4 hit points.
Okay, and you see, and you guys also see this. Nabil and Alexi also. You're like, oh, it's glowing brighter.
Can I pause for a second and
Yeah.
just say that Laylee has been sort of walking around like a world-defeating badass with 5 hit points. That is awesome. I love it.
Why do you
Add
think that,
what? 3 luck? That's the part that amazes me.
Yeah.
Like I
No,
was saying
well-
at the start, why do you think I didn't bother to create a backstory or anything? I he was gonna die in the game.
There's a lost love out there somewhere, right? We got that backstory at least.
That's-
Somewhere
oh,
this-
yeah, That's like all I had.
So a figure starts to materialize. So, okay, the weird thing that happens when you guys are watching is this kind of curved surface here is the brightest glowing. And at this point, when Laylee's hand's on it, it starts to fluctuate in this way where you can't, at 1 second it looks concave and the next second it looks convex. Like it's almost like an optical illusion.
Oh,
What's
wow.
happening. Like the surface doesn't seem to have like a stable form. And you do see the glow. The strange thing that you guys see is the glow actually is passing up onto her hand is starting to become a little translucent. Like it's starting to it's starting to almost fade a little bit. And the illuminated kind of silhouette of a figure becomes visible behind, sort of past that surface, like 6 inches tall, 6 or 7 inches tall. And this figure is wearing the shape of it is that it appears to be wearing like some kind of cloak, and it's got like a headdress that is kind of conical, but then kind of curves forward a little bit at the top. So this sort of striking headdress, and as it moves, you see it also has like a beard. Okay, so looks like apparently a man, a little man, as Layli had seen before. So this figure starts to kind of come into form, and it reaches up its little hand towards Layli's hand. And that's when you see Layli kind of, you know, there's some register of the physical draining that's happening as he's reaching up there. And Layli, you, but not your friends, see his face come into focus. And it is a wide-eyed, bearded man with like prominent eyebrows, high forehead, and this crazy hat on. And he is speaking directly to you, and he seems frantic, and he's speaking in a language that you do not understand.
Oh no.
Just like,
Oh no.
I
don't understand. Do you need help? I don't think Layli speaks any other languages. So I think she tries to communicate that she just doesn't understand him, and but I tell him my name. If I can, I kind of point to myself
Layli.
and I say Layli.
Are you wanting anything out of him?
I wanted to know, I wanted to know if he was trapped and if he was okay. I think I already know his name because you were told it. But I want him to know we're here for him.
So you're trying to communicate, get that across.
Yeah, that we're here to help him.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Dear teacher, is this good? It doesn't look good.
We the observers, we're just seeing the glow and the contact. We don't see the little guy, and it's
You do see like a dim outline of the little guy. Layli just sees him.
wow.
Layli sees him in more detail.
Okay.
And Layli can clearly hear his voice, and you hear a faint, and I would say that Alexei picks out 1 or 2 words that he thinks are Ajat, although I don't know if he's ever heard Ajat spoken. But because he's a translator,
I doubt, right? Ajat, it's
Yeah.
like dead, like Latin.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, some scholars might, pretend they have a spoken, they understand it, and maybe it has been passed down through certain lines, but yeah. But Alexei recognizes that it is an alien tongue, and it could only be Ajat.
And what is our chap's name? What do we know?
I have this written down someplace. Where is it? Oh man, I take such bad notes.
I'm trying to remember where you. Oh, because
the it was in the diary.
Oh, okay,
Remember I
okay.
stole the guy's diary?
yeah, his name is Talib Najma.
Yes, I've got that.
TALIBNAJMA.
I spelled it wrong.
Oh man, right from the very beginning when Layli snuck in and snagged that guy's die. Oh yeah, that was masterful thievery. Wow, yeah. Okay.
Oh, so I'll say his name and I'll point at him and I'll say my name. And so at least he knows who I am, and because telling someone your name is like a really great way to show that you are not here to hurt someone and that you're here to help them.
And am I right that the Shard Seekers told us when we asked about that if he is there, he is in a prison of his own making? I have that written as a quote, but I didn't attribute it in my notes. So
yeah, that was what the leader of the Shard Seekers said.
Yeah, she said if he is there, it is a prison of his own making. Okay, just wanted to bring that up.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
so
I think that's why he might need our help. Maybe he's self-stuck.
So as you continue to communicate with him and try to express that you need his help and, say his name and say your name and do all that, and Alexi and Nabil are trying to get closer to see what's going on exactly, you feel it drawing further on your life force.
Oh,
So at this point, you can remove your hand or see what happens next.
I mean, does he seem like we're just not getting anywhere with communicating, are we?
I feel like there's a moment where there's like, he seems sort of frantic and almost like there's moments where he's frustrated, maybe angry, like, you get the impression of just of this kind of like, let me out, right? Like you can't understand what he's saying, but that's the impression that you get. It's just like this kind of like, but also like wild-eyed and desperate. And there's maybe a pause when you say something, that a word that he might recognize or a name, maybe he like pauses for just a second to like let you speak, and then he continues on with his ranting.
I mean, I don't think if we're not able to talk more, it's probably, I guess, probably not worth continuing. But before I let go of the shard, I let him know that we're going to come back and help you. Just a day or two, okay? And we're going to take you to people who can help you. So, so hang in there. Okay.
And then you take your hand
Bye.
off. And he just recedes into the shards.
Can Alexi get one word he knows of the Ajat, or one or two words that he recognized?
I think the simplest, the words you pick up are words like out, fool.
Oh, nice.
That's probably all you picked up.
Okay. Alexi will share that as colleagues. I think he's speaking Ajat. I could not hear very well, but what I could hear, I heard made out a couple words that I think are out. And then another one was fool. I don't know, Layli, if any of that was clearer to you, but that's what I was able to make out.
He just seemed scared and upset to me.
Mm,
I mean, I think it's clear he's trapped in there.
does seem that way.
And if I was trapped in a moon shard, I'd want to get out too. So it might make sense. That's why he's panicking. I think that we should ask the shard seekers how we can get him out. He didn't seem like a bad man, you know? I mean, I don't think so.
Did you gain any abilities with your contact with the moon shard? These are, arcane things. Do you feel stronger or better able to perceive the world or attuned to magical energies?
Well, actually, I just kind of feel sick.
Oh,
But I'll let
you've
you
been
know
through a lot, I can see. Let me see if I've still got some tea in my backpack. I'm going to make you a tea.
Well, that'd be nice. Thank you.
And actually, Alexi's going to use one of the healer kit uses and make a nourishing tea that may start the process of repairing that constitution damage.
Great.
Cool.
So I'll burn one use on the healer's kit. And I believe, Jason, I think it makes sense for Layli to roll this, but it's 1d6 hit points. But I don't know if that,
It totally applies.
Totally applies. Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm rolling a dice?
Yeah, you get to heal 1d6, though Jason would have to let us know about the time frame. I don't think it's a fast.
It's slow. It's
slow.
Is it the healer's kit? It's the healer's kit.
It is an actual like Lexi splashed out for the healer's kit.
Yeah. So it's gonna be 1d6 and it gets 3 uses. So mark that off. And
Yep.
overnight is totally fine. So yeah, by morning this will have taken effect. So Layli,
Okay, Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You roll a d6 and you can heal that many hit points and or ability points.
Okay, so I'm only down 1 hit point, but I'm down obviously 3 con points. So I guess I'm not really sure how that jives. If I can still heal 1 hit point, but then my con stays at -1.
You can, whatever you roll on the d6, you can use those points to heal all the things. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. If your con goes up, yep. If you just heal your con up to whatever it is, 9, is it 8?
9.
So if you heal your con up to 9, you'll get back that hit point because of the modifier. Yeah.
Okay, so that's really the thing I want to do here. Okay,
Yeah.
let me see what I get. I got a 5.
All right. Some
So I
nourishing,
can fix everything.
cold brew.
Yeah, usually we heat this, but in the morning, maybe cold is the way to do it. Maybe cold, lets it steep better, and it's not so bitter. Maybe.
Thank you.
Is
That's
anybody
great.
else injured or damaged at all from previous adventures, or is everybody up to max?
Alexi is uninjured physically.
And Nabil's okay?
Yeah, Nabil's fine.
And Laylee is down at this point. Oh, Laylee's totally great because the con's back.
Yeah, the only thing I'm down is luck, which is not coming back.
And that
While we're
does not-
in the morning, can I take a moment to, focus and tune into my surroundings again?
Yes,
my awareness back.
absolutely, perfect.
Yeah.
And also roll for the weather, Ranger.
All right, let's
You
see if
can
it goes better this time. 7.
On a 7,
Did Laylee?
conditions stay about the same. So
Oh.
I'm gonna say it's not as pouring, but it's raining. So there's going to be like a montage of you guys trekking across the rolling plains to get to Witch's Hill.
As part of that montage, will Laylee share sort of the details of her experience, or will we just leave it at what we heard last night?
Oh no, she'll tell you everything.
Great, because Alexi's interested. He's curious.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you everything and describe what the guy looks like and like what the words he was saying sounds like, even though I don't speak the language, and how it felt when I touched the shard and how it made me feel sick and how but
Myth-
how he knows my name now, which is important because he knows
Oh, yeah.
now, like when we get him out of the shard, he knows who to thank.
Very true. And these moon shards are mythologically, at least the story told, is these are pieces of the moon itself that crashed to Earth when Liama, according to the shard seekers anyway, slew his daughter.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you got a piece of, I mean, to believe those stories, you have a piece of Umalaya. Whatever.
Oh, the same Umalaya whose oath I broke, huh?
Who's what?
That one. Whose oath I broke? That Umalaya.
Was it Umalaya? Yes, it was
Yeah.
Umalaya. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a physical, that's great. That's super.
Right into the lion's mouth
Yep.
in the dark of the moon.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna cut.
Everything's gonna go pear-shaped. Everything's already gone pear-shaped, so
Yeah, gosh. I was hoping for better. Not from Laylee, but just, I was hoping Alexi would behave a little better, but oh well. Goes where it goes. And Alexi's going to bless Nabil and, share some morning prayers for Nabil's good hunting of Zemdrak and good fortune.
Right. So before you guys set off and then into the rain with Nabil up ahead.
Oh, is this an opportunity to keep company?
I think between last night and today on the road. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think Alexi wants to try to keep company with Nabil. Is that cool with Nabil?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Anytime, revered teacher.
Sorry. 3.
You get experience.
Yay.
And the other person describes how the interaction goes poorly. So Nabil,
All
I
right.
guess the interaction is around this morning blessing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think what it is that since you're kind of cut off from prayer, it it isn't right. It doesn't feel
Oh, it's
right. You
hollow,
stumble
yeah.
over some of the words.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
seem unsettled and nervous, and it gets to feel like wondering if Zemdrak is angry with what you did back in his temple, or
Yeah.
Does Nabil reflect it all on his on the part he played in that, or is that just like Nabil was just following orders and it doesn't even occur to him that he may have also violated the sanctity of
no, he was doing what Peter Teach told him to do, so that's not it's fine. It's all
that's it.
good.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
like,
got it.
it's the problem is Lexi in trouble. That's the question.
You are just the vessel. You're not the yeah. Great. So yeah, so Alexi's just doesn't have it together. The revered teacher is not
It's not looking so hot.
yeah, great. Love it. Yeah, so this is a landscape you guys cross, just drizzly with rain. And then that second evening, you reach Witch's Hill again. So
Can I just express my gratitude that, we were like, those look cool. Let's go visit those. That was great.
Yeah, and that's right. That's how it happened, right?
Yeah,
That's the
that was
whole,
totally
the
ad
whole
hoc.
reason it happened is because you're like, let's go check out that menhir. Totally forgot about that. All right, yeah. So
Don't
you're
go
here.
on to Hill, they said. So let's go on to Hill.
The moment someone says don't do something, my brain is like, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Let me just be clear.
So what's your approach here? How are you gonna get the attention of the shard seekers?
Well, they know us now. Remember? So we're practically friends. So why not just go up and bring them the chicken again?
Yeah, I think Alexi would try to repeat the same kind of thing. Unfortunately, we're missing our dear friend Oz, and so I think feel a little sacrilegious to sing his stuff with, not sacrilegious, but copyright, whatever, cover his song without him actually being here. But we did the whole ritual with the chicken, and that seemed to work last time. So I think Alexi's pretty dogmatic and is just going to try to do exactly the same thing again.
Plus they
I
know
think I
Jason
just saw a
Bear.
message saying he's in the waiting room.
Oh, Oz?
Okay.
Who?
Admit.
No,
No, Enid.
Ain't it?
Oh, just in time.
Seriously, we might need some muscle.
I gotta hold on, I'll be right back.
Hey,
Hey guys,
how's it going, Chris?
it's going great. Are we all still alive?
Yeah.
It depends on how you define we.
We are alive.
We
Are
certainly
other
are.
people alive?
But Doosan, the one-eyed Booma, is no
Yes.
longer alive.
Oh,
Chris, do you
okay.
remember Chris, Enid took out like him in the wing and made him crash. You remember that?
Right.
Yeah, so just so you know, wait, where is he? Oh, I gotta do that thing where I
Jason, I'm so sorry, man. You had such a nice illustration of this guy, and then we just
and now he's gone.
yeah.
At least he died knowing his parents were still in love.
Right.
Yeah, anyway, this is what he looked like. This is
Right.
what he looked past tense. This is what he looked like.
Okay.
He has met his end.
But the only people who know it are Alexi and Nabil because they did it on the sly.
Okay. Smart.
Lately has plausible deniability.
Okay.
Lady has no idea. Lady thinks he's still
Yeah.
alive.
Oh yeah.
So why don't you guys catch up, Chris, real quick. So what we'll say is that Enid, you guys are like halfway across. You're just reaching Witch's Hill, and that's when Enid catches up to you guys, having come
Cool.
from Moon Hadir. I just got to go use the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started off the moon shard, which turns out to be like much bigger than at least I thought. Like I was thinking it was like a little pocket mirror size, but it turns out it's like an armful of chunk. Was hidden in Alexi's little secret Zemdrak temple in a little off room of his little hovel. Alexi comes back to his neighbor, says, there's a guy in, there's a Booma in there. Alexi comes in and his place has been trashed. And he goes in and in Zemdrak's secret temple, ripped out of Zemdrak, from underneath Zemdrak's sacred little wooden vessel. There's Dusan holding the moon shard, and with all the curse of Zemdrach, he gets immobilized by the earth, like swallows him up to his
Sweet.
neck. He's relieved of the chunk and just doesn't take any opportunity to come to terms or find a way to either come to Zemdrach, which he's a devoted R2 guy, so he is like, F no, there's no cursing, but he's like, absolutely not, and is just totally angry. This will never be redeemed. He's gonna kill us all and in everything. Layli tries. I love that moment. Layli's still working me. Let's get your mom and dad back together.
Right.
And then Zemdrach has a new follower of Nabil who is ruthless. And while Layli is kind of is elsewhere, Alexei, who is furious about this sacrilege and is like really shooketh, actually asks Nabil, knowing full well what he's going to do, will no one rid us of this troublesome owl? And Nabil does the necessary, and Dusan makes one last flight in the rain down the giant river that sweeps out of Mundahir, and sleeps with the sleeps with the newts. I don't know, whatever, little desert things. So we got the chunk and we beat feet out to get away. That is no longer a sacred place, and Alexei is like out of favor with Zemdrach for at least so favor is zero. And I'll let Layli catch
very happy to know that like all of the like don't kill people talk that Anid like gave her on the in our text-based RP. She was trying to pitch that to these guys.
No, it was great. It was heartbreaking.
So it was
really.
like we were here because she was riding that wave of like,
Got it.
don't
Yeah.
kill people.
But desecrating this tomb of the god, that is there's a law somewhere that makes that a capital crime. I know that.
And just for future reference, I think Nabil's murder technique was to bash him in on the head, so it looked like if you bought the idea that he fell that he somehow slipped and fell, there's at least arguably accidental.
Right. What is that term in detective fiction? Yeah, blunt force trauma, something like that. Yeah.
CSI Mundahir.
Exactly.
So right now though, and then the only other thing you missed is that we've learned a bit about the moon shard that we're trying to bring to the shard seekers. We learned we talked to the guy inside of it. He speaks ancient Ajat, so we couldn't really talk to him because Layli doesn't speak ancient Ajat, and she was the one that reached out. But he's a human guy. He seems like he wants to get out. He seems like he's unhappy in there. Alexei heard him use two words that like one of his words was out, which makes sense. The other one was fool.
Right.
Whatever.
Fool? Okay.
Yes. And also like we talked to him, the moon shard like absorbed some of like Layli's life essence. So something's a little sketchy there, but
I'm sure it's
but
all
anyway,
fine.
It totally is. And now we're at the shard seekers to try to get some answers. So just in time.
Okay. Cool. Great. So I forget how far away the Witch's Hill is from Mundahir.
It's a 2-day journey. It's been pouring rain, so the weather's been really bad.
Got it.
So you need to mark 2 rations.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you got the rations.
That's a great question. Let's see what we've got here. Rations. I had 3 days worth, so I guess I'm down to 1 day. I guess I never did spend any of my coin. Well, I did spend some of my coin with the, what's his name? The Kadim.
Oh, yeah. Your consultant.
What's their name? Yeah, but the consultant, exactly. But I didn't buy new stuff. Okay, well, I'll have to make sure to do that assuming I survive. So,
and also
okay.
It's fine if retroactively, if you have the gear sheet there, do you have the marketplace list?
I can pull it up in a second, but yes.
Because if you want to just like you know, you can say you had bought, so you don't have to worry about having prepped. If you have the cash, we
Right.
can just say, you can just say, you know, I bought this and that, and as long as you can carry it, you're good.
Yeah, I've got like 32 coins, so
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah,
I've
yeah.
got some room there,
So
so.
4
Okay.
silver will get you a week's worth of rations.
Oh, okay, well, I'll just do that right now, so just, okay. So that's, okay. 6 days left, alrighty.
All right, so when Enid catches up to you guys, you're just at the foot of the hill, and you're sort of starting to prepare. You're getting the rooster out, starting to prepare this sacrifice. And Chris, how does Enid like make his presence known? How does he show up?
They walk up and.
Sorry, they, yeah.
So is it, what? So it's nighttime and it's pouring rain still?
I would say it's evening. Like there's still some light, but it is, and it's like a drizzle.
Evening, drizzle. The party's on like on the side of a hill or tucked in under a cave or
I think
hidden. They've hidden.
They're on a rise because they want to get the attention of the shard seekers. So they're on a rise
Got it.
before the actual main slope of the hill. But you can just
Okay.
picture them being like, here's it. If you look at this picture, they're on the equivalent of this little spot right here.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That's cool. So I think you guys can see for quite some distance around. So I don't think Enid's arrival, Enid is not known for their stealthiness. So I think you know, they're not clumsy. What Dex? Oh, actually, no, Dex 13. Sorry about that. But they're not trying to be stealthy here. In fact, I think as soon as I recognize that you guys are up on top of the hill, I might even call out to you, hello, Laylee.
Oh, hi.
Alexi. And then I'll start running. I mean, I guess I've been kind of on forced march, and so and now I will start to walk up and oh, I'm glad I found you, and looks like you guys are getting right to it. And then anything interesting happened while I was gone, and then I think you tell me what happened, and then I think that's it. So nothing really crazy, just gotta walk up.
You get the edited version because
Yeah.
of course Laylee's around.
Yeah. Oh, right.
We
Okay.
followed though, because we sent Dusan off the other direction, off our trail. So you sure you weren't followed here?
Well, you know, the cloud cover has been thick. So if Dusan was flying, I don't know that I would have seen him. If Dusan was walking, I don't tend to watch my back as much as maybe other people do, but maybe, I don't think so. I think I'm in the clear. I think we're in the clear.
But I will add, Enid, you did see somebody following your companions.
Oh,
So
but did you got a single person, a group of people?
a flying person,
Oh, a flying person.
a winged person, yeah, who you
Oh.
only glimpsed in the distance, but you know, you're gonna guess it's a Buma, so it's an owl person.
Right.
You saw them you saw them sort of silhouetted against the storm clouds and then land behind a hill. And then when you topped that rise, you saw your friends kind of trekking across ahead. And then you saw the figure fly again at some distance from one spot to another. And it seemed clear to you that person was following your friends. And then
Got
you
it.
lost sight of them. So you do have that knowledge.
And I lost sight of them. How long ago was it that I saw, did I see that?
Probably 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay. So there was maybe a Buma who was following you. I saw them in the air, and I saw you very far in the distance, too far to hail. And then they went behind a hill, and you went over another hill, and then, well, this was about 2 hours ago. There was a Buma that was following you. So it might have been Dusan. I don't know. I don't know that I would have recognized them at this distance. So I hope, I'll tell you what, I'll keep watch while you guys do your thing here. I'll keep watch, because maybe, and I'll have my bow at the ready. It's particularly good against flying Buma, I have found. So I will keep my eyes peeled.
Right. And have Ian and Nabil met before?
Oh,
No,
no,
have
we
not.
have not. We
Yeah.
have not. So Enid has humongous eyebrows. Think kind of like who's that Mexican, Frida Kahlo, but like on steroids, right?
Mhm.
And no hair on top of their head, kind of dark features, kind of the classic sort of ranger look with the big cloak and the hood in the rain right now, and has a longbow named Alice, and Enid's pronouns are they, them.
Are we
All right.
running dual rangers?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Are we?
are.
Oh,
Yes.
you lovely people, you. Dual
Nabil,
rangers.
so Nabil's an Alfiran, so he's a bull. Like he looks like this incredibly cute little mouse, big eyes, big ears. Just makes your heart melt to see him. He has an 18 charisma.
Oh yeah, I just saw. Did you just put that image in the Discord?
just
I think
did.
I just saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Adorable. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so totally adorable. He has, like you, the standard out ranger gear, a longbow, probably almost as tall as he is,
Okay.
on him, and he's carrying a couple of very light feather steel blades. His equipment looks fresh, very new, as if he
Very
had just
new.
bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, which he
Okay.
has. It's only most of his stuff he only bought a few days ago after a very successful expedition.
Got it. Okay. That's awesome.
So just
Well-
to be clear on that visual, Nabil's longbow is actually almost twice as tall as.
Oh, sorry.
And I think that you have to wear it like across your sideways in order to even like move. Or actually, you probably you probably unstring it and carry it. But anyway, and when you shoot it, you have to do it sideways. Like it's a pretty. That's the drawback to being the Alfron. But Nabil's going to make it work. I have no doubt.
It'd be cool if you had to, as an Alfron, maybe your feet are almost as nimble as your hands, and so perhaps you use your foot and one of your arms to. I mean, I'm just making that up on the fly, but that'd be cool. It'd be a cool
Right.
stance that Enid would be super interested in learning more how to do that, even though Enid's not really equipped.
I like that idea. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
We got the two longbow rangers. All right, so there's that
Wow.
exchange as you guys get to know each other a little bit, and then the ritual. Alexi.
Yeah, so I'll have to refresh my thinking about because the ritual was sort of an Umalaya ritual, is that right? I'm trying to remember. I remember we used the rooster and we did a retroactive back thing as a thing, but I apologize, but I've forgotten the details of.
So what you need to know is the Shard Seekers believe that Umalaya, the
Oh,
moon daughter,
right,
was
and the rooster is Liamut.
the rooster represents Liamut because
Yeah,
they seek vengeance upon Liamut, who they believe slew his own daughter. And
right.
that's why Umalaya fell to earth. So the rooster
We will-
represents in the Liamut faith, the rooster also represents, the cry of dawn, all that. So
All that.
they're just, but the sacrifice of the rooster,
Oh man, and it's about sunset, isn't it?
it is about sunset.
Yeah, so perfect. Dying of
Perfect
the
timing,
sun, dying of the rooster, all of these things. And this is the night of the double new moons.
Let me just double check the calendar. I think that might be, let's see, first day was in town, second, tonight.
So this is a pretty auspicious Umalaya.
It is in
kind of-
fact, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Alexi's gonna make it work.
And is it just, are you guys gonna call out in any way to, like, is there gonna be any noise to get their attention, or is it just the sacrifice of the rooster?
Lily's gonna call out hello. I mean,
We're down here.
well, pretty much. Hi, we came back.
Mhm.
And we have the
Oh, you-
moon shard.
Oh, you guys some of you have been here before. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the contact has been established with the Shard Seekers.
Okay, cool.
And the goal, they're trying to figure out if the Shard Seekers can help them understand this shard a little more, right? That's one of your guys'
Yeah.
goals.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Because there's a little guy trapped in there who we know is Talib Najma, who is
Right.
like an original like Ajat speaker from ancient times, who is somehow we think imprisoned in there. But when we asked the head shard seeker, or at least one of the eminent shard seekers about this, without the moon shard in our presence, she said, if he is there, it is a prison of his own making. So yeah, and
Cryptic.
Lily established some stuff. So yeah, we call out, certainly Alexi's, I love Laylee's like, hi, we're here with the moon shard. Alexi is part of this, kind of formalized ritual. Will say, we offer this to make contact to our favorite, to our honored colleagues of Umalaya, those who seek after shards. We request an audience to discuss, a matter.
And are you like calling it out so it like echoes across the?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you're kind of.
Yeah, I think probably we are.
That's
No.
it.
Question for my colleagues, like if a Buma like is hunting us, will you pick him, he, they, or them up? Like, I feel like the guys on Witch's Hill know we're here because they like know everything that happens. So we may not need to like announce it too loudly.
Okay.
I think they are like tracking it.
Okay, so just
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah,
not the bellowing part.
okay.
Yeah, I think at this point, Nabil's got his bow strung and is ready to fire if necessary.
I mean, yeah, 2 bow hunters on a hill, like not a lot of owls are
Right.
gonna want to
Let's
get close
hope.
to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Yeah, so like right when you do the deed with the rooster, Aenid, turns and looks up the hillside, and there's the 7 of them sort of standing there. I guess they're far enough away where the rain was kind of obscuring them, and then they seem to almost appear there out of the rain. There's some of them of different sizes. There's one of them looks quite young. I think the things that stand out to you are one looks quite young, like 12 or 13 years old. There's one Alpharon, one Ibanaquin, so they stand out. And there's one person at first you think is like a bird person because they have this big raptor head, but then you realize it's like a headdress that they're wearing. And then the leader, who everyone except Aenid recognizes, steps out. She's sort of in the middle, so there's 3 on either side of her, and she sort of steps out from the line, and says, "Why have you returned, priest of Zemdrak?"
We have returned, and we beg your favor to seek knowledge of this that has come into our possession. It seems there is a mystery that we seek your wisdom in unraveling. And we come respectfully, with peaceful intention.
Why have you brought the follower of Liamut?
Well, I will let the follower of Liamut describe that. They are no longer a follower of Liamut, and in fact have chosen to follow Zemdrak. And so we felt, as they have changed dramatically, perhaps you even may have been aware of it ahead of time, but your words may have caused this to happen.
You said that I should only return here if I turned away from Liamut, and Zemdrak has seen fit to bestow his grace on me and teach me the error of my former ways. I'll hail Zemdrak.
So she sort of stares at you impassively for a moment, and then turns her attention to Aenid and says, "And what of you? What god do you worship?"
Well, that's a great question. I'm not much of a god person, but I do like legal texts. I often find myself getting lost into legalese, and I think that it brings me comfort. So if you're wondering what brings me comfort, law. Not justice, law. Rules, structure.
The rules of your people have no place here. You do not pray to the god of the sun.
Well, not typically. I mean, no, I guess not. I know, I don't. I don't. I find a
Fine.
day like today with the sun being hidden as like a holy day for myself, for me. Is that good? Is that good? I'm looking at Alexi like, yeah, it might be. Yeah, I'm usually, you don't really want to talk to me because I usually don't say the right thing. So whatever you need me to say, I'll say it.
Do you accept that Liamut slew his own daughter Umalaya? Do you accept this truth? And Aenid knows as a reader of the law that this is nowhere on the books. Not that that affects your answer, but like, you know,
Right,
the
right.
official word is that's not the way it happened.
I actually, you know, it's a funny story. I was looking for someone, the tea seller recently, and it turns out that her monkey was taken up by the acolytes of Liamut, and they wouldn't tell me where the monkey was. And so I'm kind of not very happy with Liamut right now. I think that, and you know, slay the daughter or not, first of all, I know that killing your daughter is illegal in almost every single culture that I have experienced. And so I'm definitely not down with that if that's what happened. And if you say it's what happened, I'm happy to listen to your testimony. It sounds absolutely compelling.
Very well, you have come back to us in this company. And she seems a little dismayed at Aenid. Why?
Me? Why?
No. Sorry, she's addressing Alexi.
Oh, okay.
We seek your wisdom because we have come into possession of a moon shard that we believe has Talib Najma within, and we would like, as shard seekers, we feel your expertise may be better than ours, and we seek to perhaps get him out of this prison if that is advisable. We know very little about him.
Come with us. So it's like you say that, and the fact you have, do you show the moon shard, or are you just describing it?
No, we describe it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not on the middle, not out in the open. And we do, and an honored Maha, we should let you know, despite our best efforts, we may have been followed by a Buma or Bumas, and recommend we will all step carefully. We have not tried to bring any undue attention to our meeting, but we want you to do in full disclosure of mutual trust. We want to let you know that one of our colleagues cited a Buma who may have been attempting to follow us. Our keen-eyed Aenid, their eye is Mrs. Little.
Yep, definitely saw a Buma.
If you bring danger to us, it will be on your head. But come with us.
Great.
And she ushers you guys up the hillside and over a about halfway up Witch's Hill and a quarter of the way around from the way you approached. There is 3 cave openings, and she leads you in there, and it's clearly where these where they live. And so everybody's gathered around, and none of the other ones have spoken. They definitely have an air of different, like they're not, there's something very different about these people. They have a very different, you know, she has kind of like a fierce focus to her, and the rest of them are quite solemn.
Was she the one wearing the headdress?
What's that?
Was she the one wearing the headdress?
No, you get the impression just from the body language that it's her kind of first lieutenant that's wearing the headdress.
Gotcha.
It's and when that figure moves, you see that they're all wearing these kind of cloaks.
Mhm.
She's the only one who has her hood down to talk to you. And that one, when he moves, you see that when his cloak opens up, he's actually pretty much naked except for a loincloth, and quite fit. So he's a very, of all of them, he is the most physically fit. One of them is limping. You know, the Alpharon doesn't look in great shape, so they're not like the most physically imposing group, except for he appears formidable.
Oh,
So
man,
if there
as
is
we're
muscle,
walk-
he's the muscle. What's that?
As we're walking up with them, man, like you said, there's a kid my age. I'm gonna just stop there and say hi and introduce myself.
Let me just, yeah. Okay, what do you say?
I mean, as we're walking up the hill, I just walk up next to her and I'm like, hey,
Oh,
my name's Laylee. What's yours? Oh,
He kind of turns and looks at you. They kind of turn and look at you. Yeah, you know, you're immediately struck by that. Once you have eye contact with this person, it's like there's like gravity. It's like you kind of like are compelled to like, you're a little caught off guard. It's a different kind of energy than Nabil. Nabil has those big neotness, like, you must care for me. I'm a cute baby. But this person, when they look at you, it's like Laylee is looking into the eyes of a parent, I guess, but like
wow.
something older than the first appearances, something deep, and they just say, they call me Al Haki.
nice to meet you. You live out here, huh?
Yes, I have been here for 12 cycles of the moons.
I'm 14. At least I think so. Thank you for you and your people helping us out. It's really nice. We're trying to help a guy who's trapped in this moon shard. So we really appreciate your help. I think he'll appreciate it too.
We do not care for whoever has taken occupation of part of Umalaya. We only care to return her body to the heavens.
Okay.
That is the work we do.
But what do you do for fun?
That actually, their eyes kind of like light up a little bit at that. And sometimes I play with the birds. And he like holds up his hand, they hold up their hand, and a sparrow just like flits off of a rock and lands on their hand. And he like holds it out, and he sees that they see that it's kind of delightful to you. And they say, oh, you like that?
I've never seen anyone touch a bird like that. How do you do it? Do you talk to them?
El Sforzo. And a like little flock of sparrows like appears out of the underbrush and flies over and just lands on their shoulders and arms. So they're kind of like holding their arms like this, and there's like a dozen little birds just kind of perched, kind of like, and of course everybody else may have noticed this as well.
Yes.
And this is all while you guys are walking, right? So you're walking up the hill, and
Right.
This person has these birds kind of on them, and they kind of give a little chuckle and then shrug, and the birds go and flit off as a group.
How do you do that? Can you teach me to do it?
If you would become one of us and choose the same path as us, you may be able to speak to the birds.
I don't really think that's what I want, but it would be neat if you could just, show me how to do it. I'll tell you what, if you show me how I can talk to the birds like that, I'll let you fly. I can fly. But it's a secret, you can't tell anyone.
Why don't you roll to keep company with Al Haki?
Increasing my collection of NPC friends. Damn, yeah. That is a 12.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, so you get to choose, you can each gain a bond with each other. So
Oh, that's
both
nice.
ways.
I'll take a bond with her.
Them. And you say that, and they say, they look a little surprised and say, I guess before, it's clear that they're kind of delighted by that idea. And then you guys are in the cave and everybody's kind of gathered around.
Afterwards.
Some of them don't look so good, right?
I mean, they're not like sick, but they live in the wild, right? Like
Okay,
now
got
that you're in here, you see that like, they're provisioned. They've got there's dried meat, there's clearly there's enough foodstuffs for them to live, but they're just not they're not living the life that you guys are used to. They're not living the cushy life.
On the way up, Alexei will let fall that, Zemdrak, not everybody may know this, of course, but, Zemdrak is opposed to Liamut and is not as, has nothing to do with Liamut, is of the earth and opposed to Liamut. And now that Umalaya has come down to earth, at least for the time being, she is earth aligned, and therefore Zemdrak feels some kinship, right? When she was in the sky, she's clearly sky aligned, but at least for right now, maybe she gets back up there, but for right now, she is of the earth, and coincidentally, so is Zemdrak. So
Are you saying that to Mahat, or are you?
Yeah.
You're
Alex
having
is
this.
trying to make that. I mean, not quite as smarmy as I'm doing it, but
Yeah. But you're. So you're okay.
It's trying to make common cause.
Yeah, that's totally a negotiate role because
Yeah.
like
All
she
right.
may not be buying any of that earth crap.
Well, maybe not.
Uh,
Negotiate goes off of what? Wisdom or charisma?
It'd be charisma or intelligence in this case, but it sounds.
Oh, we're definitely going to be more charming than smart.
Okay.
All right. Let's see the charm of Zemdrak come. Oh. Yeah. Well, the good news is a charisma +1. So I get a 5.
Okay. So you get to mark charisma.
Oh, gosh.
It's
very interesting. Once we managed to entomb that owl, entomb with that Buma, I've not rolled a success since. So Zemdrak's definitely making his will felt for these guys.
Yeah. So you maybe start that conversation on the way up the hill.
Yeah.
And then
And
you
she
get into the cave and you're still going. And then you're like, get to that point where you're like, what do you think?
And
or whatever.
therefore,
And she turns and she just kind of stares at you. She gestures at a different, not the lieutenant, but a different person to go kind of keep watch at the mouth of the cave. And then she just, as if you didn't say anything at all, she says,
wow,
let us see this
cool.
shard.
All right. Well, colleagues, I'm going to bring out the pack and open up and place the shard. It's still in the pack, but I'm opening it up and kind of peeling the pack back. So I'm not actually touching with the claws.
Great. So you, and it's
almost,
itself
those
also,
things the museum guys do where they reveal the thing without actually touching the thing.
Yeah.
That's what
they got the white gloves on and
yeah.
So, but in this case, you open the pack and then it's also wrapped in a cloth inside the pack.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
And
so then
then
there's like a gentle, reveal.
Right.
Okay. Maha has been close to emotionless. I mean, she clearly is like fierce, but not, not really giving away anything the entire time you've spoken to her. So you reveal this thing and, her eyes grow wide and her face looks complete, like this look of surprise and astonishment comes over her face, and she like takes a step forward, and everybody, all the other shard seekers, like there's like gasps and whispers as they all kind of like take a step towards this thing.
I'm thinking the shard seekers haven't actually found a shard.
Well, they're usually much smaller.
Yeah.
This thing is the size of your backpack, essentially.
We
right?
found the
It's
Hope Diamond of shards.
Yeah. You found like a really remarkable, or somebody else found it and stole it and hid it and then kept it in their, in their basement. And now you guys have retrieved it and here it is. So they are, they're a little taken aback by this. Where did you find it?
Oh, I stole it from a priest of Arthur.
Which seems sort of, in Arthuan law, that's completely acceptable.
Oh, he was really pleased, actually.
Yes.
And how do you know there's someone inside?
I've talked to him twice, actually. When I stole the shard the first time, he tried to talk to me, And then last night, I put my hand on the shard and it made me feel kind of sick, but I was able to see this Talib Najma and talk to him. Although he doesn't speak the same language as me, so I'm not so sure he understood much. But I told him my name.
It is unclear, but I'm fairly sure he's actually speaking Old Ajat.
She takes a step forward and she reaches into the pack and pulls out the shard and says Al-Haki. And the kid comes over and she turns towards them. And the kid of everybody here doesn't look surprised. The kid, and you note that,
Oh,
like when everybody else was oohing and awing, the kid was just kind of like, just sort of sitting there calmly. And now the kid comes over and is what they say true? And he reaches out and puts his hand on the shard, and a similar thing to what happened before. It starts to glow faintly around his hand. And everybody, the shard seekers, are kind of riveted as they're sort of watching that. And he kind of like they kind of close their eyes. And the same thing that you saw happen with Laylee, their fingertips start to become almost translucent, or like the same kind of quality of translucence that the crystal itself has, right? So and then Laylee, knowing what happened, in Laylee's case, some of her life force was actually drained out of her. Al-Haki does not seem to be affected by that. Closes their eyes and then opens their eyes. And there's just a brief moment, Alexi, where you see this like opalescent sheen pass across the surface of their eyes. And then they pull back their hand and it returns to normal. And they say, yes, one of the sorcerers of the Ajat resides therein.
How do we get him out?
There is a way. Why do you want him out?
I think he wants to get out. When I talked to him, he seemed like he was upset that he was trapped in there. He sounded like he wanted to get out. And if he's been there that long, since the days of the Ajat, I bet he's lonely. I'd want to get out too.
Maha says, do you not think he is mad to be trapped inside a stone for centuries?
I didn't think about that, but
How would you feel if you were alone in a room year after year after year?
I'd be sad.
It
And
would
I'd
not be
really
safe.
want-
I would be really grateful to whoever freed me, that's for sure.
Yes, that too. We should. Even if he is mad, he still deserves to not be alone. No one should be like that.
We will release him, but we release him to the heavens along with this piece of Umalaya. Tonight is the night. It is the last night of mourning, MOURNING, when both of the living moons are dark. Al-Haki says, this is why you arrived when you did. He says this directly. They say this directly to Laylee. You came on this day so this would happen. We must give the shard back to the heavens, back to the sisters.
Okay.
with like
Can
a
we talk to
catapult?
him? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, no, just Alexi mumbling to himself with like a catapult, like, a very strong throwing arm. Sorry, Laylee, my apologies.
No, I was just going to ask if once you free him, we can talk to him first.
He will be sent away. He will be gone. When we give up the shard to this guy, he will go with it.
Will he be alone again?
No, he will be gone from this plane of existence.
Like,
But what
Dead?
place? Oh yeah.
Yes,
ah,
unless you can think of unless there is a body that would be the receptacle for him. His body is not in this crystal. It is his soul, his mind. When he comes out, there is no physical form, but the only way that he would survive this would be to offer him a vessel of some kind.
Ah, and we got rid of our only rooster.
there
I
is,
assume the body has to be alive, yes?
This I do not know.
Oh,
It
Well,
is
he
an
didn't have-
interesting question.
there, hmm.
Where does his soul go if he's going to die?
It passes beyond. Choose your faith. Into the twilight realm, to the heavens.
Will he be lonely there?
I think she's, so she like just at this point turns away from Laylee with obvious feeling of like irritation at questions that you perceive she thinks are coming from a child, and turns her attention back to Alexei, the adult in the room, as far as she's concerned. And Al-Haki, but so leaving Laylee kind of in the cold for a moment, then Al-Haki touches Laylee's arm to get her attention and says, he will be welcomed by his ancestors as long as he did not cross them in life.
That doesn't sound too bad, I suppose. To be with family.
The sorcerers of the Ajat were not known for their kindness.
Hmm.
So this is sort of a Yucca Mountain kind of situation where we have this dangerous waste of, and with a potentially crazed Ajat sorcerer, or at least the soul of a crazed Ajat sorcerer in the shard.
Fair summary.
Yeah.
and we would need somewhere for it to go anyway if we wanted to not have him go to heaven.
Yeah, and I'd certainly take the point that after it's been hundreds or thousands of years. Apologies for not knowing the backstory.
You know, who knows the fantasy world backstory?
Years untold. Years untold.
Who can remember that garbage? I can tell you exactly because I did write it down at one point.
It's okay, Jason. I don't want to break the flow. Years untold in this. In this.
It says many centuries ago. How's that for an answer?
Yeah, that's good.
Many centuries of imprisonment could indeed damage someone beyond recognition. And what little we saw of him did not seem thoughtful or reflective. And the Ajat destroyed these lands that we're walking on now. I do worry that perhaps were we to bring him back, that we could be unleashing even worse upon the world, especially as he would be the only old Ajat sorcerer around and be unopposed by, I suspect in this diminished age, there would be few who could stop him. And so this may give us an opportunity to purify. Of course, my colleagues, what say you?
It seems we have little choice. Unless we have a body for him to inhabit, it matters not what we might choose otherwise to do. And certainly passing on to his afterlife is less punishing than his present state.
Than his current limbo, yeah. So in a sense, that would be setting him free, making an argument to Laylee, and getting him out of this sort of permanently trapped limbo, which is clearly doing him no good, and reuniting him with his ancestors, or helping him move on to the next phase could be a good thing.
I am curious to see what kind of person comes out of hundreds and hundreds of years of solitude. I would be interested to chat with them and see how they utilize their crazed power. But I think we probably wouldn't be far enough a remove to do that safely. But there may be a body back up the river away. I don't know. We could look around. Maybe we could put him into a smaller body, like a worm or something like that. That might not be better. Probably not better than being a moon shard.
I don't know how I would feel about being trapped in a prison for hundreds of years and then dropped in the body of a worm. I don't think that would be great for my mental stability.
I think Aenid and Nabeel are having this conversation near the entrance to the cave, right? Like you guys are having it like back and forth about what would happen.
Sort of the comic relief in the background of like,
Right.
oh, worm, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I am curious, but I think I would prefer to live, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like we'd be a potentially unlicensed nuclear accelerator walking around.
Exactly.
To mix metaphors.
Right. Which I think, yes, would be very entertaining from like orbit to observe. But
and everyone going after the shard to this point, the mom and dad Buma, neither of them seem particularly fabulous public citizens. And to be sure, Abir says he's got friends in the capital who will reward us handsomely with this, but it feels like having somebody with more power and more knowledge whispering to this guy may not be good for the land, frankly, and may lead to more cataclysmic stuff. So this offer, if it's sincere of purifying, feels reasonable to me, but I don't want to necessarily buy into that if we are not mostly on board.
I think this is you and Layli. Now all of you are conferring in like one corner of the cave, right? It's like a kind of hushed conversation.
It does seem like this moon shard is only evil.
Oh, sorry. This Anand Maha, it's taken us a long journey to get to this point. If you will forgive me for consulting with my colleagues for just a few minutes, we won't be long.
Right. And then Nabeel, what were you gonna say?
This does seem to be mostly usable for evil purposes. Yes. Is there something we would want to do with this thing that would have value for us?
It would be evil.
Well, I mean, it's not mine. I suppose I have little say in the matter, but.
And in fact, I will say that you guys have the impression now that Maha is behaving as if it is in fact theirs.
Yes,
Like,
I noticed that.
Yeah, okay, just so we're clear. Yeah, like you can just, the way that she's handling and stuff, it's just like you brought, it's their rightful thing.
Right.
Maybe we should find a body for this man.
But won't the body's owner complain or object to that?
Well, people die all the time in Munadir. In the streets. Maybe we should just find a body and then bring it back here, and then Talib Najma can get a new body.
I do not think they will wait for us to return.
Yeah, tonight is like the night of mourning, final night of mourning, right? This is like an auspicious night to launch this thing into the sky or whatever it is they're going to do. Yeah.
Unless Haki overhears Layli say that and says, "It will happen tonight."
Well, one of us could take him in our bodies with us to Muhandir, and then find someone else to shrive him from us into a body.
Shrive, nice to use.
Yeah, but Nabeel's reaction is definitely nope. Well, not me. I'm not volunteering for this.
I think that would be ill-advised. For one so hungry for flesh out of so many centuries would be unlikely to give up their prize quite so easily. I suggest we help in any way we can the shard seekers with this purification and feel. If this went to the city and a mage or some similar got hold of this, his imprisonment would not end for years and decades more, as he would be seen as a source of curiosity or information, and his suffering would be prolonged. I think peace for him is at hand, and I think we can give him that.
Laylee, it's time to make the call. You just, it's like one difficult decision after another.
I mean, no, I mean, it sounds, I get it, and it sounds like it's the right thing to do, and I guess if he's going to be with his ancestors when his spirit goes wherever it's going to go, I guess that's okay. The important thing is that he's not alone and that he's not trapped. And so as long as that's going to happen, I think it's the right thing.
You could always pray to him, call out to him, find other, who are the people that worship the god of the dead? Is that the Laomusians?
Yeah.
They might be able to get you in contact with him, and perhaps you could chat with him later.
Little seance.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I like that idea.
Nice.
Can Alexi's going to offer to assist?
With the ritual?
Yeah.
Boy. Okay. What's your based on the same kind of theological
The theological, purifying this thing
Okay.
from the earth and purifying healing the lands of these shards is entirely consistent with getting them out of contact with the earth, and so getting it, if they're actually going to get it up as opposed to like spiritually up, which I guess remains to be seen. This is totally on Zemdrak's remit. The Western lands and people must be healed rather than exploited. So
Great.
get it.
So you got to get that by Maha. So roll to negotiate with her again.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
I was just going to say, maybe you need to be able to do negotiations here.
well, on the other hand, maybe I'm going to get my charisma up in a single night. That could happen. So 4 + 1 is a 5.
yeah. So, I
I did get to mark
you
charisma
see,
again.
like Nabil watch this go down. Nabil's like, dude. Yeah. So again, it's as if you're talking to a stone wall. And oh my God, poor Alexei. This is a rough couple of days Alexei's had.
He's not been any help to anybody.
Your voice, your like attempt to kind of articulate the cause of your deity, all that stuff, and in this context. And in fact, that's the last negotiate role you get to make with Maha. She's like on those grounds, right? Like
Sure.
when it comes to the religion thing, you got your thing, they got their thing, and you do not belong in their thing. And the ritual is so we're gonna cut to that unless anybody has anything else they want to do here in the cave.
I just wanted to ask, are we able to watch so that we can bid farewell to our shortly known wizard?
Yeah, Al
Sure.
Haki says that because you are because you're the ones who brought the shard.
We're the shard.
You are honored. You're honored. You're just not like allowed to participate.
Right.
So as the bringers of this very
Your seat is over here.
That's right.
All right.
We got this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, at some point, Nabil is going to ask if anyone knows what this crystal tree thing he has is.
Oh,
Oh, you have
clever.
another thing?
I have a piece of treasure that we found in the previous adventure. It looks potion-like. I don't know what it is or what it does, so
Mm.
and I'm
Cool.
not quite willing to drink it and find
I
out.
think the only person who would know actually on this crew is Maha. And roll to just see what they can do. So that's 2d6, and in Maha's case, where is she? She is, oh yeah, holy crap. You get a +3 to this roll.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's And it's charisma based too, right?
No. This is just you just hold it up and say, does anybody know what this is? And you don't
Oh,
have to
okay.
like, you don't have to like appeal to her. She just like looks at it and she can give me an
Uh,
answer.
I got a 14. I
Wow.
rolled an 11. And so +3 to that is 14.
So preparations for the ritual being made, Nabil kind of like comes over and like manages to like, you know, get in there when Maha's attention is different places and sort of holds it up, and her eyes light on it, and then she pauses and kind of catches herself, and then reaches out to touch it, not as if it's hers, but just to like see it, and says, "I have heard tales of pieces such as this. The stories call it the sap of life."
Sounds good.
That sounds good. Yes.
I have heard that it can return the dead to life if administered soon after the person's passing.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
sounds very handy.
That does sound really handy. What if it's the person's soul has just been released from a eons old prison? Can we apply it at that moment and bring them back to life?
They must have a body with which to ingest the
Oh,
sap.
the body, that's always the thing. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't
think-
think I'd use on this guy anyway. I know nothing
Yeah,
about him.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I got. We might be needed for something important eventually.
Like you.
Yeah, like me.
So night has fallen, midnight is approaching. You leave the cave and proceed up to the top of the hill, and around the back side of it, there's this massive bramble where the vines of the bramble are like the thickness of an adult human's arm. It's this massive growth across the entire backside of Witch's Hill. So you as a group, you're sort of trailing behind the 7 shard seekers as they come up, and Al-Haki is carrying the shard. And you get up there, and the shard seekers form a circle around, the 6 of them form a circle around Al-Haki, and they intone some chants, and the brambles kind of retreat and part, making an opening leading towards a higher rocky ground within. So they either commune with this kind of plant life, or somehow can control it. So that's like and this whole time those little mountain sparrows that were flocked to Al-Haki before, they're kind of like flitting around your whole trip up this mountainside. It's nighttime, but they're out. They're like flitting around. You mainly can hear them tweeting and hear the flapping of their wings. You can't really see them so much. So like just out of, just to one side and the other, these little groups of birds are making their way up the hillside with you. And you pass through the wall of brambles and reach the top of this kind of rocky area. And in the middle of this space is this strange, looks like a broken standing stone at a high point on this ridge. And they kind of form a semicircle around it, and they're, chanting and kind of going through their kind of ritual stuff. At this point, all the birds have kind of stopped and alighted on the bramble itself. They don't go any closer to this area. And in this space, Alexi, you feel, so the rain clouds are gone. It's like the vastness of night and filled with stars. The ground is wet from all that rain that happened. Everything feels really kind of fresh and alive, but strangely quiet up here. Even the birds are quieter than they normally are. And Alexi, you in particular feel like that kind of ruffle through your feathers of like, when you step into this space, it's like, it's hallowed within the, it has the depth of age that, that from your closest contact with Zemdrak, right? Like whatever your deepest dreams have been, whatever those moments when you commune most deeply with your God, like this is the kind of feeling that you have here. And your feet are on the earth, and there's this dome of the sky overhead. And there's something about that rock in particular that is a strange kind of crossing of those two realms, I guess, is when you see the night sky through that crack in the rock, and there's something about the kind of solidity of the earth against this vastness of the sky that like kind of vibrates almost.
Oh, wow.
So they continue their chanting, and Al-Haki proceeds up the hill. You know, like a good 20 minutes goes by. Well, you lose track of time. I shouldn't even say that. So Al-Haki goes up to the base of this rock, and this whole time the shard has started to glow increasingly brighter. So Al-Haki is illuminated by that as they approach the stone, and holds the shard up over their head, and the chanting kind of rises. Nabil, I'm sure that you and Enid are like also on watch, right? You're like, what? This is a crazy scene. What's going on? But Nabil, you're the first one who notices that the moons, which are usually dark at this point in the cycle, there is like a faint illumination on them. So somehow the moons, which are usually in shadow, those discs are just ever so faintly starting to like lighten up there against the sky. And Al-Haki lifts the stone up over their head, and the stone actually looks like it's like it has a certain weight, right? And Alexi knows exactly how much it weighs. So at first, when Al-Haki lifts it up, it's like, ugh, like that. And then their arms extend, and you can see that it's just their fingertips that are holding it. So somehow it seems like it's becoming lighter somehow. And then there's like a kind of sound, and you're suddenly aware of these arcs of light, orangey yellow rays of light actually shoot up from either side in from actually almost at the border of the bramble patch, right? So like this whole clearing here is probably 50 feet across. So from the edge of that, 4 beams of light shoot up in like a pyramid, like from equidistant points on that circle, and meet at a point directly above the circle, right? But Alexa, you immediately know this is not part of the ritual. You instantly sense that this is not part of what their plan was, and they all like, there's like, oh, and all of a sudden the shard goes heavy again, and it falls into Al-Haki's arms, and everybody has to make a saving throw with wisdom.
Oh no.
I know, right?
I have a
Oh my God.
3. I have a 3 wisdom. So
I think Enid. Oh, there you are. I thought,
Yeah,
boy,
I had to
that's
get my
really a
dice.
failed saving throw where you just vanish.
yeah.
I got a
so I'm
10, so I'm
-3. 3 plus 3 minus 3. I got a 3.
Mark wisdom. Nabil got a 10. What
Yeah.
did Laylee get?
7.
What, a 7?
7.
Okay, and Alexi?
All right, +1 to this roll. God bless me. Certainly not Zemdrak. I have 5 + 1 is a 6.
Oh shit.
Okay, you get the Mark wisdom too, unless you want to burn a point of luck.
I don't. I do want to burn a point of luck.
Join me in the unlucky club, friend.
Easy come, easy go. All right.
So
No,
Those
you know
of
what?
you-
Jason, I apologize. Alexi needs to accept his fate.
okay,
That-
yeah, no problem. Yeah, I understand difficult decisions.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
sorry.
so
Alexi needs to
Laylee.
accept his face.
Here's the deal, Laylee. So Nabil, you are free to act. However, everybody else is frozen. Everybody else has been immobilized, and it's like a gradual. At first, it's like you can react at first. You're like, wait, what's that light? And then like all you can do is like move your eyes around in your head, right? Nabil, for whatever reason, you have avoided this force for the time being. Okay, but you sensed it. It like passed through you. It made all your hair stand up. And there's a moment where everything kind of locked for a second, and then you like shook your way out of it. Okay. Laylee, you actually do kind of lock up, but then you're like, wait, if I feel like I can still act. Now here's the deal though, Laylee. Every time you act, you have to roll luck.
Oh, that's funny, Jason.
And
What's your
Nabil,
luck, Seth?
I guess everybody can see this because everybody's conscious.
3.
No.
A winged form
Ah,
Oh, fuck me.
yeah,
appears.
it's mom is my guess.
Mm-hmm.
A
Do
winged
sign back
and
and forth.
cloaked form lands right next to the split stone there, and turns and looks over her shoulder down at Alexi and Laylee, and only they're the only two that know her. You guys, the other one, the rest of you guys don't.
I might
right.
know
Oh,
her.
sorry, Anid was there too. Sorry, yes, Anid was
Yeah.
there too. I think there she is.
Yes.
On
Right. So she drops down. She looks over her shoulder back down the hill, and Nabil, she's looking at you and your group. What do you do?
I shoot an arrow at her.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes.
Enid is like stunned and amazed at this form of archery, and yes, I am taken aback and also
That
completely
is,
awestruck.
so I rolled a 9. I have archer, so I'm going to spend 1 awareness to inflict the condition on her.
Nice. Yes, I want to learn
So-
that technique.
Okay.
I want to get her in the wings so that she cannot take off.
Okay. So when you shoot a throw and roll a 7+, you may spend 1 rest to add wisdom damage or inflict a condition. Okay. And
roll for damage too,
Yeah.
right? That's
But the-
1d8,
sorry, you rolled your total was a 9.
a 9.
So there is a drawback to that, which is you have to choose one of 3 things, which is where are my battle notes. Here they are. You can mark an ammo. That's probably the one you're going to choose. Roll damage twice and use the lower result, or attract unwanted attention.
I'm gonna mark an ammo.
Okay, mark an ammo, and then roll your damage.
1 point, but I
The
get the condition.
winter.
Yeah, I winged her.
I think you right. So she can't take off right away. It's not like a permanent thing, but you have limited her movement for the time being, right? So you're it takes off like 2 feathers from her wing, and boy. Laylee, what would you not want Vonda to do right now?
What would I not want her to do?
Or what would you
Uh,
want her to do? What would be the best thing for Laylee or for you, the situation?
Sorry, I misheard. Like good for Vonda or good for me?
Good for you. What would be good for Laylee right now? What would Vonda do?
Oh, what would be good for me? Because she's like, does she have her hands on the moonshot?
She's got her hands on the shard. She looked back, an arrow just went through her wing.
Yes, so she's distracted by that. She looks away from the moon shard and kind of looks directly at Nabil. That's what I want.
Okay, roll luck.
Come on, dice, come on. I want to do something cool. Don't fuck with me. Okay, Well, it's not an abject failure. That is a 7.
With your -3?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So it's not a success anymore.
Okay,
It's-
okay, yeah. Ooh, they do it, but there's a trade-off. Uh-oh. So they are distracted. They look at Nabil. The arrow's gone through them. They raise 2 fingers at Nabil. Ooh. And she goes, face off. And Nabil, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, I'm sorry,
See how
Nabil.
this goes. But how bad can it be? Well, it could be quite bad.
Hmm.
4.
4. Mark Constitution. Your throat constricts and you feel pressure on your heart.
Right.
And take 1d6 Constitution damage.
I'm sorry, Nabil. There's no way I could succeed at that roll.
2 points. So takes me down to 7. So I get a -1.
And Laylee, do you want to try to act? You
Yeah.
haven't, what, not yet?
No, I would. I
You
want
would,
to try
okay.
that.
So you're gonna,
So I need to
okay.
roll luck again.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna try to do?
So because she's looking at Nabil and her hands are off the moon shard, like my goal is to sort of like slip into the dark of the night, cut around and like snatch the moon shard off, like, or out from kind of under her.
Okay, so this would just be to disappear. That's one sort of big
Yes,
move.
that's sort of the broader, like what I'm trying to do here.
Okay, so to do the thing at all, and this is basically you trying to overcome this force that's constraining you. That's the luck roll right there.
Yeah, highly unlikely. Like there's no way I can actually succeed at this with a -3. So the best I can do is get a partial.
Oh, all right.
Right, because even if I roll
Yep,
12,
yep,
it's
yep. Yep,
yeah. So
that's why.
this time I do not succeed. I rolled a natural 7, so I get a 4.
Okay, so I think that you the attention's drawn and you're like, you break out of the thing and you make a move, and you, Laylee, the acrobat, so agile on your feet, you actually stumble and fall and catch one hand on a rock.
Can I use, oh no, it's a luck. Well, can I use cunning here? It's a luck roll, but can I use cunning? When you move silent or like move in the shadow?
No, because the luck roll is to see if you could even take the action.
I could move. Yeah.
Once you could take the action, then yes, but no.
Okay.
Okay, so you're stuck there. Nabil, your move.
All right. I'm quite a ways away from her, right?
You're about, let's see, you're like 20 feet away from her.
20
You're not
feet away
that
from
far.
her.
It's not a great distance, but yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot at her again anyway. I want to wound her a bit. Then maybe I'll move in for a close combat. But
Okay.
you'd still take off on me. On the other hand, I could roll a 4 and completely miss her.
Oh, mark dexterity.
Yeah.
So is any of this stuff coming at her I don't know if she has to be like paying attention to Alexei and I being locked down, or if she casts the spell and it locks us down. I'm wondering if there's any way for us to get out from under this whatever it is. It's got us frozen.
For the time being, she is right. That's exactly what she's doing. This is a spell, and Alexei, you know this for sure, is that Vonda has cast this spell over you guys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let her do a thing, and then you guys who are frozen can make a wisdom roll to try to break it. But it is something that she kind of set in place, and then so that she could act.
Cool.
Should have
So-
burned that luck, man.
She grabs
Oh.
the thing, and she takes 2 steps towards the ridge away from you, so facing away from this point of view in the picture. And like her wings go out, So she's about to make that jump to take flight, and you see those missing feathers from where Nabil hit her. And Alexi and Anid, you guys can saving throws with wisdom to overcome this.
Okay. This is my special dungeon world die here, so
Come on in.
hoping for the best. Oh no, the exact same thing. 3 + 3 - 3 is 3.
No. He's gonna get Anid's building up his willpower.
Oh, right, I get that.
Yeah, you
Well,
get
if I
that.
get up to, how many do I need to move up?
Each time you fail, you mark it. So, and I think there's 5 before you. Is that right?
So if I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
5 marks, then I go up
You
to,
go up a
I would
point.
go up to a
Yeah.
4, which would only be a -2.
You gotta have
You
3
go up-
wisdom.
On the
3
fifth
wisdom.
one, when you fill the fifth little
Yes, you
bubble,
fill the
you go
5th, you
up.
erase, and then
So
you
it's
bump.
not like the 6th one causes you to
no,
erase.
no.
It's you fill the fifth
Yep.
bubble and then
Oh, it's the
you maybe
5th,
never
okay.
fill it in. You just fill in the 4 and then on the 5th one, you erase it all and move it up 1.
And what Alexi got?
10.
Okay,
So a
Alexi.
9 + 1 for wisdom.
Nice.
So Alexi has free action.
Yeah, so you're now. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry that you're immobilized by this.
That's okay, it's fun.
Layli, Alexi, and Nabil, you each get to attempt one thing before she's out. She's gone. So describe what you're going to do, and then all 3 of you describe what you're going to do, and then we'll roll dice and figure out the final result here. So Layli, what's your attempt?
I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna try to like she's gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. So I'm gonna try to grab like onto her legs, onto the moon shard. What actually onto the moon shard? We're gonna have a fight for the moon shard in the air if it has to.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like, I'm gonna cling to it.
Chris, just so you know, Layli has an amulet that allows her to fly. However, she has to make a wisdom roll to use it. So.
Oh boy, good luck.
Oh,
Okay, so that's Layli's move. So there's going to be that luck roll to even do a thing, and then the wisdom roll to make that amulet do its thing. Great, Alexi.
So it's the night of atonement. The moons are out. This is going to be a time when I think Zemdrak is going to be ascendant. I'm going to invoke. Alexi is invoking Zemdrak.
Ooh, with no favor, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, go for it. What's
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
happen?
I don't think I'm close enough to grab her. Is that fair?
No, you're not.
Yeah. And I think invoking Avatar would be a separate move, and I think I've got time for one move. So I think
That's
this is what I got. Unless, give me 1 second here. No, I think that we're gonna try it. Invoke. And no doubt I will suffer.
Okay, don't roll the dice yet. Don't roll the dice yet.
Yep.
What's your goal? What's your invocation going to? What's the goal?
I am trying to do a momentous hubris, which is, and I'm trying to exert force to hold the moon shard, which is, of the earth to the earth. So I'm going to try to make it heavier so it will stick to the earth and cannot be moved.
Wait, but it's not of the earth. It's of the sky.
Semantic.
I totally
Yeah.
totally, you can totally do it. I think it's more like Zemdrak exerting that pull.
Oh, well, I mean, alternatively, we can pull the bird down, if that would be more Zemdracky. But I think it's about holding something close to the earth and
Okay.
being flat.
Okay. So before her feet leave the ground, her feet are still in contact with the earth,
Yeah.
and you're using the force of Zemdrak to pull the moon shard out of her grasp. Is that
I
right?
think
Or
so.
hold her?
Yeah. Well, or hold her down.
Okay.
Maybe holding her is. I feel like holding the moon shard is the more actiony kind of thing that would happen, and just more dramatic in that way than pinning her to the earth.
Right. So momentous. So that would
You
be
feel-
just a momentary thing to hold her down. You could also, for one less hubris, you could just use that to help Layli make Layli's move. Just giving you that option.
Oh yeah.
So it would count as a help as opposed to like a separate action. So contemplate that. Nabil, what are you going to do?
Nabil is gonna make one last shot at taking out her wing
Okay. You're gonna
properly
try-
this time.
Try to hit her in the pinion.
Yep.
Okay. Lele, make that luck roll to even try.
Uh, going for that partial success, friends. Hey! Oh wait, no, wait, let me do my math. Does that not work? Shit. 10 minus 3. Does that not work? Shit.
That's a 7. 10 minus 3 is
That's a
7.
7. That's a 7.
Yeah.
That's a partial success. Yes?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yep. It's a mixed result.
Sorry. I mean, I can't actually succeed on these rolls, so I'll take
Right.
it.
And then make your wisdom roll to use the amulet. So just to be clear here, like if you
It's gonna be
overshoot,
bad. I know.
you're jumping off the top of Witch's Hill,
Oh my god.
which
Okay.
may not go well for you. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and make that roll.
Okay, that one is a 10.
Okay. So mix.
Okay. Again.
Okay. Alexi, what was your
Second
conclusion?
10.
So let me make an argument, which is
Mhm.
that holy symbol we've got.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make the argument that even though this place is not specifically Witch's Hill sacred to Zemdrak,
Mm,
the alignment of the dark of the moon, the one night of the month that there are no distractors in the sky, which should count as the equivalent of in a sacred place. So I'm
No.
going to argue for a +1 from that.
no distractors in the sky from
Well,
Earth.
we
Yeah,
did
no, I
not-
love it. I love it.
Yeah, we discussed that this
Yeah.
was when both Zemdrak and Umalaya were together ascended. And I mean, I don't know if Umalaya is willing to assist on this, but like this is in her best interest too.
No,
so-
you can't talk your way into too many +1s, but I'll
And
buy
no,
you.
I just want 1 +1.
Yeah. You got.
So
the
I got
whole
a
stuff.
total of
Yeah.
+2,
Yeah.
which is going to let me make an even roll against Momentous and
To hold her in place.
hold her in place.
Should be great for Laylee to grab onto. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
That makes
Uh,
sense.
Oh, it is an 8 -2 +2, so an 8.
Okay. And an 8 on invoke.
Your
Request
request
is
is
granted with
granted with
duration
1, but your deity demands proof of devotion. Exemplify, sacrifice, or suffer. I'm pretty sure, given what we're going through, I would lobby for suffer.
Yeah.
Does that feel
Um,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if there's better, more dramatic things.
No. That's good. And I think your energy is passing out of you through the earth. So 1d4 constitution
Oh,
damage.
yeah, 1D. Okay, 1d4 Constitution.
And then Nabil, roll your shoot.
All right. That is an 11.
All right.
Nice.
So Ranger.
So I am again spending 1 point of awareness to inflict a condition on her to hinder her from flight,
Okay. All right.
as well as damage.
Okay.
Big numbers, big numbers.
1 point again.
Oh, man, that's not big numbers.
But man, she got that other thing, and then Zemdrak's holding on to her, and then Laylee. Okay, so Laylee, you're down on one hand. All this stuff's happening. Alexi, you hear Alexi making noise. Arrows are flying by. You look up at her, and clutch that amulet in one hand and push yourself off the ground and like fly through the air. And you were going for the shard itself or for her?
I'm going for the shard. I thought she was gonna take off, and I was gonna hold the shard and see if I could pull it out of her arms as we were both.
Yeah.
flying, but-
Okay. Yeah. Great. So you actually, she's held in place, and then by all the forces around her are conspiring to keep her from going anywhere, and you, well, her back's to you, and the shard's in front of her actually, so you can't actually. There's no direct line to it. So I think your best thing is to land on her.
Okay, yeah, if that's kind of where we're going, then we're gonna still wrestle in midair for it. if we
Okay,
have
so
to.
you're on her back. So in fact,
Sure.
you're not going to be in midair where you slam into her, and the two of you go tumbling over the ridge. She got nailed by that
Oh.
arrow. Zamdrak held on to her, and the two of you tumble out of sight over that ridge. So there's a
I might be using that sap of life sooner than I thought.
and
Jeez.
as soon as she goes over the
Or we've got a vessel for
the pyramid of
And
light goes, and Aenid is free to move.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I see. I've been watching all this, and of course, Laylee's my buddy, so I'm gonna sprint to the ridge and see what I can do to save Laylee.
Okay,
So
so
see what
yeah.
I can see.
Is it fair to say that everybody's running to the?
Yeah, I would
I think so, yeah.
Okay, the shard seekers are a little sort of stunned by what's happening, so they don't do anything for the moment. And the three of you get to that ridge, and Laylee and Vonda have sort of tumbled down to a. Oh gosh, they tumble right to the edge of the bramble wall, right? So they're like, you're right there. You're sort of half surrounded by these giant vines with the giant thorns on them. So you and Vonda are kind of like half underneath this the bramble wall there. So Laylee, what do you do?
So we've landed, so we've crashed the ground, like just.
Yeah, you're basically on her back. You tumbled end over end all the way down. There's like feathers flying, and you got your hands on her, and she's got the shard in her
Okay.
claws.
She's
The
got the
spell
shard
is
in it.
gone.
The spell's gone. The pyramid's gone. Yeah.
Okay. Since she's still holding on to the shard, I don't feel confident in being able to yank it out of her at this point. But given that I'm on her back, I'm going to try to create some advantage for myself in the next turn. This feels like the perfect opportunity to backstab her, to get her to drop the shard. So I'm going to like, as I'm like holding on to her with one hand, I kind of slide my dagger out from like, my belt, and I just sort of like, I'm trying to jam it into like one of her upper like shoulder blades, so that like she reacts in a way that, and I'm hoping that for a moment she'll kind of release the shard. So next turn I can grab it.
So backstab says when you use a hand weapon to attack a surprise or defenseless target. And I guess
I'm
my
going to argue
question
that
is
she's defenseless. If
Well, she's
she's
got-
holding on to that shard.
right, but she's got her wings, right, which are like. But I'm just thinking it through.
No worries.
But I think that's great. Go for it.
I mean, I'll make it. If you're not comfortable with that, I'll make another argument for something weirder. But
No, I think
it's a really good-
backstab's fine. Go for it. Let her have it.
Okay. I'm assuming I can't purloin here because that's swipe something. Oh, that's surreptitiously doing something.
Yeah,
and I
it's
don't
like a
think
giant.
purloin
Yeah,
is-
yeah.
Okay.
Dexterity.
So that's a 9. I have 3 to dexterity, so that's
Okay.
12.
So you deal your damage and you choose 2 from the list. Deal your damage again. Slip immediately out of your target's reach. Create an advantage. Describe it, and the next person to exploit it takes +1 forward.
Yes. So here's a question. Since I can take 2 from the list, can I take that bottom one twice? One for one of my colleagues and one for myself? Give someone else a +1 forward on it, and then also it creates that advantage for me to yank that shard out from underneath her. Because that's what I'm sort of going.
What's the one thing that you would do that would create that advantage?
I mean, that's specifically like I'm trying to hit her with my dagger
Yeah.
in like part of her arm or whatever she's holding on to the
Uh-huh.
shard with, so that she'll release like one of her hands around it.
And then how does that give an advantage to the other person?
I mean, in the same fashion, right? Like getting stabbed is like a shock to the system. Like you have this momentary, like your defenses are down, you're in pain, you grab the wound, right? So there's this kind of moment that it opens up, she becomes vulnerable.
Okay, great. So first of all, just deal your damage straight up because you get to do that.
It's a D4. I rolled a 2.
Okay. And we got Nabil did 1 and 1. And then we got the 2.
Chipping away.
Yeah. And okay, so yeah, you stab her in the back, and then your next move would be to grab the thing from her, right? Okay, but you set up that situation, and then those of you up on the ridge, what are you guys starting with Aenid, because you were out of commission for a while there? What do you do?
Yeah, so I think what I want to do is I just want to, it's a steep hill, but I'm just going to charge down the hill. I'm going to actually, what I'd like to do is, I'm trying to set things up so I can do this no guts, no glory move. So I think Alice is going to have to wait on this one. And so I'm going to be pulling out my, my knife and charging down the hill, looking to tackle Vonda.
Okay. Well, she's on the ground already, and she's tangled up.
even
she's
better.
Tangled up with Laylee on the ground there.
Oh, okay.
And also, just
Well-
to be clear, like you charging down there, then stuff would happen before you reach her. Basically, like other people would be able to do stuff like shoot arrows and things.
Got it. All right. Well, then I think I will do something completely different. I will. I was thinking, I just realized this No Guts, No Glory is, well, it's sort of a meta play. Is since I have such low wisdom, I can just keep marking wisdom as I charge into battle until I can raise my wisdom. Regardless,
no, sorry, burning wisdom is different than marking wisdom.
Well, no, because I would
Oh, I
burn
see.
a wisdom. I
Right.
would burn a wisdom, which is fine, but then I would
then you roll
fail,
it.
and so
Yeah,
then I would
yeah.
mark a wisdom.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
then-
yeah,
and I
yeah,
still
yeah.
get one benefit, and I still get a
Yeah.
benefit. I guess you also get I guess you can also make a GM move, but instead I'm going to revel in battle, and I'm going to do it with shooting Alice. And I think Vonda, if you know, classically the magistrates, the swamp masters of the grudge have typically given given dispensation, given innocence for those who defend themselves and defend their friends. And so clearly she's attacking us, and I'm just defending myself. So I'm going to shoot her.
Defending yourself from the ridge of it. So to be clear, there, like Laylee's all tangled up in there. So if your shoot roll goes badly, that's what's at risk.
Yeah, that is. You know what? I think that would not necessarily cross Enid's 3 wisdom mind, unfortunately. Sorry, Laylee.
Do it anyway.
Oh my
As
Let's hope I
god.
hit. Okay, so that is a 9, but it is a shoot roll, which I think I get to add my dex. So I have a +1 dex.
Yeah.
And do I also get the +1 forward that Laylee had
Yeah.
with the advantage?
Yep.
Okay, I guess it doesn't matter, but I rolled an 11. And so I
Can spend that.
right. Yeah, I would use, well, I guess I could get this up to a 12 if I'm then getting also. So then I use metal to give +1. I get the +1 forward. I get +1 for my deck. So I'm going to strike true, which is going to ignore Vonda's armor. It sounds like she doesn't actually have any armor, but I'm still going to strike. Oh, I can inflict a condition. I know, I'm going to strike true because I don't think I have any int. Oh, minimum 1. Oh, okay. So I will stun her. So I'm going to try to hit her on the head.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I get a 12+, so I regain that metal because I got a 12.
Yeah.
And then the, I don't know how much damage the longbow does. I guess I should go
1d8.
1d8.
Yeah.
Okay. I will, let's get that. I forgot to get that die. The 8 here. Ooh, that's not helpful. Let's imagine it is a really good number, like a 6. That's not bad.
And you hit her in the head.
And I hit her in the head with the intent to stun.
Okay.
Although, I mean, I kind of feel like we need to kill her because she's going to keep coming. Chris feels like we need to kill her, otherwise she's going to keep coming after us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but regardless, done.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And
that
I am
arrow-
still charging down the hill because I want to.
Yeah. So arrows out.
So,
You're shooting at a run. You're charging down the hill. You
Yes.
let one fly. Laylee,
Yep.
You got your knife in her back, and you're like, holding on to one wing, and this arrow just goes like that, like right by your neck. Nabil.
Well, so Nabil's looking at the situation, and I think, the way I have to shoot with this thing, I can't really like charge and, shoot the bow the way Enid is doing, right? Because this thing is huge for me. So instead, he drops the bow and starts tearing at full speed down towards where Laylee and the Buma are, going on all running on all fours, bouncing,
yeah. Mouse run, bull
Yeah.
run. Yeah. So scrambling down there. Great. So you're on your
Yeah.
way there. And Alexi.
Alexi's going to pray for Zemdrak's forgiveness to try to grab some more favor.
Oh, he's taking the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, in the middle of this fight.
Well, we got no
When you take the necessary time to commune with your deity. I mean, I could buy that that's necessary time. What does that look like in this,
No.
this kind of
Oh,
adrenaline?
Zemdrak, aid your son in this time of dark need.
Okay, go for it.
Beats don't fail me now. You know, it's the quick.
Come on.
That's why they call that particular football pass a Hail Mary.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, hey, guess who's back in somebody's good graces?
Mhm.
Well, let's see. An 8 plus say charisma is a 9, but that's still 7 to 9 gain favor equal to your current level.
Yep.
I will take it. Look, if you guys don't take her out, I'm gonna turn her into a pillar of salt.
I think I think when you get
Not
up,
me, Zemdrak.
so that the shot there is like the three of you arrive on that ridge. There's the fracas down in the brambles. Nabil drops the bow, dives over. Aided pauses just for a moment to like knock an arrow and then runs down and then whip. And then Alexi is alone there on the ridge and feels the power of the earth come up through his feet as he makes that prayer.
Redeemed a little bit.
And then Laylee.
All right, so now I'm trying to use my advantage here, and I'm trying to snatch the opportunity, snatch the
Yeah.
moonshot out from under her and fly away.
And fly away. So grab and jump.
Nice.
Grab and
Yeah.
leap.
Oh man, to fly, to grab something out of a Booma's claws and then be you are the one who flies away.
That's
That is
insulting. That
that
is
is
terrible.
chef's kiss.
I think it's a strength roll because she's holding on to that thing. But you get the +1 for the advantage you
That's
created.
what I was hoping for. So that negates my -1 with strength. So I am just on the dice right now. Come on, don't fuck me over. That is an actual 8.
Okay. Oh. So here's the trade-off.
Oh shit.
How do you're on her back, you stabbed her, arrow hits her in the head. She's got the thing in front of her. Both of you are, I'm gonna say, like when you ended up, she's kind of like kind of facing the ground. It's like it's between her body and the ground. So how does Laylee try to get at that thing?
Laylee's an acrobat. She flips herself up and over, like I'm on her back.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
tumble over her,
Yeah.
like using her back as leverage, tumble over her head,
Yeah.
sort of like doing it's almost like a back handspring,
Got it.
landing in front of her,
Yeah.
grabbing the thing, and then like
Okay.
jumping.
So you lean down, you shove your hands in there, you grab it, and when you pull back, you realize that she hooked her beak onto your amulet and it snaps off your neck.
Mm.
So you have the moon shard, you're standing in you're in the thicket, you're right up against those vines and the thorns. So she does that and like looks up at you. And her eyes are just like, she's just like seething with fury. And this is the point where Nabil reaches the scene.
All right.
Fast little vole.
Okay. I take one of my I pull out my blade and go at and take a whack at her.
Okay.
A nice ever steel blade.
All right, but you got off that assassin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's in, even though you're coming at her from behind, she's in she's in the middle of a fight, so she's ready to react. So that's a fight roll.
All right. Sounds reasonable.
Oh wait, is it dagger?
Uh,
I think with the
I have
feathers,
I could take. I have a dagger and a sword.
feather steel, right? So the
Yeah.
dagger would be a dex roll. The sword would be a strength roll.
All right, then he's gonna use the dagger
Okay.
for sure. So that is a 11.
Okay, awesome. Deal your damage.
That's 1d4, right?
Yep.
For a dagger. That is another one.
So, so she like snapped the amulet off of Laylee and like like turns over and she's trying to get back to her feet. There's like a flurry of the wings, and you go to stab, and it's just like it's like it's a melee in there, and your knife kind of like grazes her side, and she's like half up, but you're kind of right in the thick of it there. And Aenid is also close
And
by.
so I just wanted to confirm that Vonda is in some ways stunned, at least for one. I don't remember what the measure of time is. For
Yeah. She's
one,
not able
one
to
length of time.
Yep.
Okay. I guess I come up and
I think that when Rhonda's beak hooked Laylee's amulet, it was just Laylee's bad luck, right? She went in to
got
grab
it.
the thing, and when she came back, it snapped off of her neck.
that
Sorry,
is
go on.
bad luck. Okay. I am, I don't know. Not that I'm persuasive in any way whatsoever, but I'm hoping with, standing there with an arrow pointed at her heart,
Mhm.
and I have demonstrated my skill with the arrow that she
Yeah.
will stand down and release the stone. And so that is what I'm going to stand there with my arrow pointed straight at her heart. Is she standing or lying on the ground still?
She's like half. She's trying to. It's like a flurry of activity. She's trying to get back
Got
on her feet, but Laylee has the stone. Just so you're aware.
Oh, okay.
Laylee's
Okay.
behind her, like deeper in the thicket, and holding on to the thing. So right now, Vonda does not have the stone.
So we have what we need.
Yeah.
But Vonda has also proven to be sort of wizardy. You know what? I hate to say it, but I think this is self-defense. I'm gonna shoot my arrow at her. So that is what my intent is.
Okay.
It's to shoot to at least knock her out, maybe kill her. Yes.
Okay.
And avenge Laylee's necklace. Do you want me to take that action now? I
Yes.
noticed last time I kind of just started rolling, but I have noticed you've asked everybody what they want to do.
No, this is good. Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is just so I need to roll I have a +1, so I need to roll a 10 plus before I can revel in battle. So I will also spend metal. So that's an 8. I have a +1 dex and metal, so that gives me a 10 plus. So I have to spend another metal to add a following effect?
That's correct. Yep. So what are you
Okay.
down to? Have you got any metal left?
I'm out. Well, the last time I rolled a 12, so I regained
right.
the metal.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now I'm down
great,
to 0
great.
metal.
Yeah,
I'm down
yeah.
to 0 metal at this
Yeah.
point. And so I am,
So you do
You know-
damage.
yeah, let me deal the damage first. The damage is a 5. And I am again going to handicap. Again, I want to, this time, I just want to kill her. So I don't know. I guess in that case, I just want to pierce any armor she has, although she doesn't appear to have any. Does she appear to have some sort of armor?
So your total metal is 2?
Yes.
That's your maximum?
Yes.
Okay, and you spent 1 to make the shot. Okay,
Correct.
and then you get this one for the okay. Yeah. She's does
Yeah.
not appear to be wearing any armor. But you know what? You don't have to worry about that because
She's dead.
where did you shoot her on her body?
Well, wherever the center of her torso is.
Okay. So then there's like a and Laylee, you're standing behind her, right? She's like getting up, turning away from you, and you see the point of Aenid's arrow come out the back of her. She falls over backwards and leaving Nabil kind of standing there, knife out. She falls over backwards and looks up at Laylee, looks Laylee like with the most, like even in her last moments, she just looks like murderous. Like she hates you so much. I'm sorry, but that's how she feels.
Like flames,
No,
like
It's just like-
flames.
It's just like so much unrequited rage.
Wow.
And like just looks up at you with this like fierce I'm trying to think of what she would even say. I think she says you deserve R2. And then her eyes kind of glaze over.
Wow.
So Nabil looks at Enid and says, "Good shot. Who
Thanks.
was that?" He says, pointing at the body.
She was not a good person, and she was going to pursue. She had already put out a 200 kate bounty on our heads, and so I think it was time for us to.
Oh, that is
Humor
the
for-
that is the solution to that problem. Wow, I had forgotten that she had placed that bounty, but that's true. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I think what she really wanted was this piece of rock here.
Yeah.
I don't think she cared. I can't
Why
remember
does
what.
everybody in this town overpay for bounties?
Right. Nabil is very well versed. Well, you could have taken her up on that, and then yeah. But she was the person who sent us to find this thing for her, and we hadn't just quite returned it to the tower yet.
And quite returned it. Yeah, that's exactly.
And I
what it
guess
was.
we maybe that
took-
wasn't going to happen ever. But
It took
yeah.
like 3 or 4 weeks.
Right, exactly. And I guess she was getting upset.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever mentioned, if you met Duma, the other, not Duma, what was his name? The
Dusan?
Buma, what was his name?
Her son,
Son.
or the father?
The son, I forget his name.
The son was
but-
Dusan.
Oh,
Dusan.
Dusan, that was his
Dusan.
name, yeah. Dusan, he was trying to kill us too. So this family was just, she was not representing the best of the Buma people, like our friend Alexei here.
Looks uncomfortable.
So
Yeah, that's like a terribly racist thing to say, but such
That,
is
that wasn't my, just more Alexis isn't really on Team Boom on these days.
no,
So,
okay.
I
people.
assume then that her husband will also seek vengeance.
Well, it's Laylee knows better, but it's unclear if her husband, what her husband's relation. They were estranged.
Maybe he will be it's an all in the game kind of guy, but I'm not
Yeah.
suggesting we actually do this, but I will point out that Alexei has now reclaimed favor with Zemdrak, has favor 4 at a +2, +1 for the holy symbol, +2, a 1 for the auspicious night. And we got an empty vessel right here.
I know. I was thinking the same thing this whole time.
We
Let's
got
do
a
it.
shard. We got an empty vessel.
You know what? There's nothing better than combining an evil ancient sorcerer in the body of a super powerful modern wizard. That to me sounds like genius. What
Yeah.
could go wrong?
Yeah.
We don't know that he's evil. I was gonna say.
Right. You're right. We don't.
Well, I was, Beth, looking at this, and there is a purify card.
Oh,
One can gosh, where is that? One can redeem somebody. Resurrecting is miraculous, redeeming is marvelous, and I think that would be probably 2 moves. So maybe not.
well, I think the extraction, the redemption is definitely a cleric move, but the extraction from the stone
Oh,
is
that would be a major.
more like a magic user thing.
Gotcha. That's
They can
out.
do it, right? The shard seekers can do it.
Well, let's say there's the aftermath of this whole thing. There's the the shard seekers, like it's quiet. People don't know they're trying to understand what's just going on. They do realize that you guys have managed to keep the shard out of the hands of somebody who wanted to steal it. I think with some midnight consultation here, you figure out that, or El Haki tells you that 2 things could happen. You could, in either case, the shard will be returned to the heavens. In one case, sort of naturally, along with that ritual, whatever's in the shard also gets sort of dispersed, right? But they could try to separate them when the sending happens to allow whatever that dude's name is. Talib Najma to try to pull him out when everything's kind of dissolved, and at that moment would be when he could be put into another vessel. And I think that they could do that and Alexei could help with that. As opposed to just extracting it from the crystal on its own, separate from this ritual, would be like more of a magic user thing. Because it requires like research into the whole deal. And that you figure that's maybe what Vonda was up to in all of her research. But if they do this as part of the ritual, where naturally the thing's gonna get sent out there, and at that moment the energy is pulled down, that's a possibility. But
And we would want to do this because
I know. Can I make a possible suggestion? Could Alexei attempt like some kind of speak with dead as a cleric move during this thing to get some either communication or give him an excuse to actually move on to the magic user track?
to communicate with
Talib as a way to extract some of his magical knowledge, or like to give Alexei that little spark to kind of go on that, or is that not really necessary?
I think the effort it would take to communicate with him would take time.
Okay, gotcha. It would be
Right,
a
like
project
if you
rather
pull him
than-
out and put him in Vonda, then he's there and you can talk to him. But to get that out of the crystal and into your, certainly this whole interaction is plenty of fuel for Alexei's magic user fire, right?
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
But
I gotta be on Team Nabil here. I think as much as it's attractive to see that we do have motive and opportunity, I think it's an exceedingly bad idea. So just wanted to point out that we have this chance to make a really terrible thing, and I've already done enough bad decisions for one day. So I think let's let the magic happen and purify this thing.
yeah, so the next campaign is 200 years after Talib Najma has been put into Vonda's
Right,
body,
right.
right? Like,
And it's actually an apocalypse world, dark ages.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, because it's post-apocalyptic.
The only thing left of Vonda is her undying hatred for us,
Right.
like a revenant. That's the one thing that remains.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Lady
yeah.
got her amulet back though.
Lady,
Yeah, we
Lady's
need to
got
get a
the
new
amulet.
chain.
It just broke. Yeah, it just needs to
Yeah,
get repaired,
okay.
that's all.
I just couldn't take off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am. Enid is really curious though what would happen if we did this, and the three wisdom
The
is
three
completely
wisdom.
gone.
Yeah, well,
it's
that-
like let's
Come
do
on,
it.
guys.
Let's do it.
yeah, and Nabil has a 14 wisdom, so he's not so much in that.
Right. Yeah.
Nabil's just like, what is up with this dude?
Right.
Hey, why? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so is everybody cool with
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Bailey's disappointed, but we'll go
Okay.
along.
And I got to tell you, this kind of arch that connects the heavens and the earth is much cooler than the catapult Alexei was imagining.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say that.
While
Yeah,
we
so
have Vonda's body though, I want to just like search it. I want to see if there's something
Good
like
idea.
of hers, because I'm going to send it to her husband and let him know that he loves
whoa, my God.
Wow.
Oh,
her. So if
I'm
she has like a
gonna-
ring
yeah.
or a necklace or something,
Thinking
I'm gonna,
of
like,
you.
see this shit through, kids.
Yeah,
In your
will-
time of grief. Great.
I will put that
Every-
stuff in the Discord once. Yeah, so you'll take whatever's on her and I'll put that in the Discord because I don't even know what it is yet.
I'm
Fair.
good with that.
Great, and then we'll just finish this ritual. So at this point, it's still, not a whole lot of time's gone by, and even with this aftermath and the kind of regrouping, so the conditions are once again calm enough to proceed, and the sort of same thing that happens as before. Al-Haki gets to that same point where they lift the shard up above their head, and it sort of appears to grow lighter, and then it levitates and leaves their fingertips and sort of moves slowly into the crack of the stone near the top. And when it does that, the interior sides of that crack are illuminated by its light, which is glowing, and the faces of the other two moons, they don't get like full, but they become, clearly visible in the sky, the faces of the two sisters there. And then the light and the, oh boy. Laylee and Alexi, as the moon shard fades, so it's starting to like become more transparent, and you're starting to see the night sky through it, and you see the faint shape of a figure inside there, and there's a moment where only the two of you hear just like the faintest, some like in something in the Ajat tongue, which you can't even make out, and then it basically fades into nothing, and then just the faintest glimmering light kind of like rises up into the sky off of the stone. And then everything
Goodbye to him.
and then everything kind of that there's like kind of this energy that was filling this space kind of cools a little bit, and you can hear the distant sound of crickets and the chirping of those sparrows, and the ground feels a little more solid underfoot when the ritual is over. The end, and we're
That was
past
really awesome.
time. So is there any quick moments anybody wanted before we wrap up?
Oh,
Didn't
dude,
round up- I didn't
Go
want to
ahead.
rate. Oh, sorry, Layla, you go.
no, please.
I didn't want to ask this during the combat, but I was thinking, gosh, she's really holding on. Vonda's really holding onto that crystal really tightly, the moon shard. And we all know what happens when you hold on to the moon shard really tightly.
All right.
I was really like, oh, hope that doesn't happen.
Well, you have to try to commune with the person inside.
Okay, there needs to be
Yeah.
intent. Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. 'Cause, oh,
I already had that.
Oh, where she could have gotten her soul could have gone into the moon shard,
yeah.
and then the
that's
two of
what I
them
was
could have
worried
been in there
about.
to get.
And
Yeah,
then-
or maybe they
Nabil
would-
said-
but we've got
Nabil-
Revenant, crazy
Yeah.
Ajat.
Nabil's just thinking, it's like, wow, she was really mad. Imagine how mad she finished. She knew that we whacked her son.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
Maybe
Right.
she'll find that out in the afterlife.
Yeah, she'll meet him in the afterlife. and then
Probably
she's gonna be
knows
really
now.
pissed.
Yeah. I guess we're going to see what you deserve. Arthu comes to for lately.
Right. Do we know who Arthu is? Is that a known name?
Arthur is the god, the Boomer god of ambition and theft.
Oh, right. Arthu.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Who Vonda loathes. Sorry, go ahead, Laylee.
No, I was gonna say, since I assume we're spending the night here because it's the middle of the night and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
In the morning, I'm gonna take that kid flying.
Oh, nice. What?
Yeah.
Oh my
Right.
gosh. Wow. Great. So in fact, it's you and the kid and flocks of mountain sparrows, like kind of leaping from rise to rise. And like, whoa, Laylee gradually getting her air legs.
That's the
That's
montage
awesome.
as the credits roll, right?
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
Right.
that's
yeah,
the-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
So
awesome.
you guys stay in the Shard Keeper's caves. Yeah, that happens the next morning. And you definitely have proven your worth with these people. So the Shard Seekers, you can consider them allies after
Oh,
this. All right, wrapping up. Class requirements. We got thief, solve a problem with stealth or trickery. I feel like there was some trickery in there.
I don't know. I guess I tried to throw the dead Doosan off our trail.
that was trickery.
Yeah.
Not like that actually worked because he's
Right.
dead.
You didn't solve a problem.
don't know
It didn't-
that.
It didn't solve a problem.
It didn't solve it. Yeah, I'm not so sure I did
Okay.
anything stealth or trickery this time. Unless someone can think otherwise.
Alexi, act according to your cause. Heal the land, right?
Yep.
Success.
We got rid of a shard.
fighter, solve a problem with physical prowess. And then you get the XP.
I think
Oh,
I did do that.
wait, are you a ranger or a fighter?
I'm a fighter.
Excellent. Bow based, great. Yep, you totally did that. So you get XP and ranger close in or locate a quarry.
No, I don't think so.
Just didn't declare any. Yeah, it didn't declare. any
Yeah, I didn't even
quarries. Okay.
declare a quarry, so.
If you're multi-classing, oh, here's the thing, Kevin.
Uh-oh.
To get the XP for multi-classing, you have to hit both
Oh,
class requirements. That's it's multi.
this does come with an eraser, so.
And for a magic user is create or solve a problem with magic.
I think we kind of did that.
Actually,
I think
Yeah.
we created a bunch of problems.
Okay, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. That's legit. Okay. Traits, Laylee, we got what? We got impatient. What else?
And idealistic, which she was totally leaning into this time.
Oh my God, so idealistic. This kid.
She's great.
Great
yeah.
XP. Alexi.
oh, well, kind and greedy. I don't know that either one of those, but I really felt like Alexi had a character moment there that was very Alexi, even though.
Oh yeah, that was big. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's, I mean, that's a great opportunity to like, this is a great sort of part of the XP process to fold that in where like, even, I mean, that was like a really amazing moment when your shrine was destroyed and you were unable
Yeah.
to pray to your God. So yeah, take an XP for that. I might even add a line in the rules where it, because those are the great moments, right? They're not the ones that where you're necessarily
Yeah.
totally abiding by your traits. Anid, you were playing a 3 wisdom person to the hilt.
Yeah, well, I'm daring, tolerant, and envious. I find it hard to play the envious part, but
Yeah,
I feel like the daring part I was
Totally,
trying to do.
Yeah.
So
very much daring. XP
Well, with
for
the
that.
level up, you can edit a trait, right? And you know, Enid has declared themselves in over a few adventures, so maybe there's something else lurking there.
oh,
And it's not even a
Well-
level up. It's just at the end of each session. You're able.
Oh, is it
to-
really? Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Gotcha.
I
So
could change a trait. Okay.
You can either just swap out one for one, like if it's a vice for a different vice because it's more in
Mhm.
keeping, or you can start to shift alignment too if you if
Oh,
you
interesting.
change the mix of your traits. So that's something to take into account. And then Nabil,
Pious and ruthless, so I think
think
whacking
all
at
of
that guy for messing up Zendrak's temple hits both of those.
oh my God, yeah, right in that one
Totally.
One
move.
action.
Totally hits both of those. I mean, the idea of this like incredibly zealous little Alpharon who's also just ready to kill anybody at a moment's notice is hilarious.
And
all right.
yeah, probably thinking of what he looks like with that picture now, probably I could see where it would be very creepy too.
Yeah. Final questions. Did you make an exciting discovery? For sure.
And I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Entirely.
Got to this crazy shrine. You sent a moon shard to the heavens. Everybody gets XP for that. Did you overcome a difficult obstacle? Yes, indeed. Everybody gets XP. And did you acquire some memorable booty? You lost some memorable booty.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think we acquired anything this
No.
time.
Oh, alignment.
Oh, right. Wait. Yeah. Alignment. Laylee neutral.
Lily just always pursues her own goals.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Oh my God. In many ways. Yeah. Okay. XP for that. Alexi, you are currently
Neutral.
neutral.
So keep the balance.
Balance.
Keeping the crazy death sorcerers from showing up felt very balanced, keepy.
For sure. And returning the shard. Like,
Yeah, and also, I mean, Alexi's definitely been trending good, but what happened in his temple was not good by any stretch of the imagination. So I felt that was very much about him and not about any greater good. That felt very neutral to me.
yeah, that was great. Enid? Lawful?
Yeah, lawful. Impose or maintain order in the face of chaos.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I spout a lot of law stuff. I don't know. I just don't think.
There was
I
a
mean,
theft in progress that you
It's-
Oh,
stopped.
good point. That's
With
right.
lots
Theft
of
in
chaos.
progress, citizens arrest, and self-defense.
Citizens arrest.
There's a 403 in progress.
I guess imposition order was imposed. Like we could call it
Yes.
that. Yeah. Deal.
Yes.
And then Nabil.
I'm neutral too, so I would say, along with Alexei working, working to heal the land and return shard.
Oh yeah. As Alexei's acolyte, you are totally part and parcel to the whole maintain the balance thing. So for sure. All right. Sorry to run over.
I get the
Oh,
level.
that was great.
Thank you so much. This
Didn't-
was
Yeah,
I
that was
love it.
really
You
fun.
guys are a blast.
Yeah, that was so fun. I really, Jason, I just want to give you a star for the whole description of when we were walking up. It was like that, the whole ritual thing and the description of the land and the sky. I was getting chills. So thank you. That was really awesome.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
That's
that was
really-
cool.
And then the attack in the middle of that was
Right.
quite unexpected.
Yes. I was like, okay, I guess this is how it's going to end. And then no. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it's so interesting because there are these threads that you guys started, right? Like off-screen stuff that's been ticking down in the background, like
Right.
Vonda trying to find you, Doosan hunting you down, and there were counters there saying when that would happen, and both those things coincided with this plan to go back to the Shard Seekers. And it's just so interesting to see, like, this is all the results of stuff you did before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
The chickens literally came home.
Yes, the owls came home to
Owls.
roost. Yeah.
They really did.
It's
Yeah.
kind of neat because like other West Marches games I played are not like that. Everything tends to be very siloed. So the fact that you have like actions influencing things down the road in this game is like, it's a very different West Marches approach and I love it. It's like super
Oh,
cool.
good. Yeah. I mean, it's a total experiment, right? Like, I don't know how it would work if there was a bigger rotating cast, like for some of these threads to tick down, but so far it's working out.
In
How
my
many-
experience, the West Marches games tend to like, the pool tends to narrow and they tend to become more campaigns than actual West Marches games over
Yeah.
time. Like I think we're kind of seeing, but
Yeah.
it's still super
Right.
cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
No, that's sort of what Beth kind of mentioned. I was just wondering how many different people do you have involved in these games?
Gosh.
Like, is it 5? More than
I think
5?
Everyone on the advice thread. I tagged
Yeah,
like
I mean-
everyone, I think, on that advice thread.
It's like 5. It's you guys, then 6, 7. I'd say it's 7 or 8 semi-regulars, and then 2 other people that have played it once or twice.
Got it. Okay.
But it is cool because there is a mix. Like, it's nice that like it's almost every time a slightly different mix of people. And I'd be curious to know. I'm contemplating running one like face to face with my at the school where I teach with a similar model. I don't know. It's an interesting experiment. I've never done it before. So
That's cool.
I like the sense of the interacting, the multiple forces, that the lots of different people at play, and that we only are vaguely understanding some of the bigger things happening.
Yes. Yes. Except for Laylee. I think Beth is in almost every single game. And so I think Laylee is involved in
I'm the
many.
thread that connects everything
that's right. That's
Yes,
really knows the
exactly.
score.
until she
Yeah.
dies.
Oh,
But did not
let's
die
not.
this time.
Yeah, we'll forfend that. Going up a level though makes a big difference.
I just leveled, so
Yes, I
hey,
Just
did
now?
too.
Oh, great.
yeah.
Are you?
So
What are
Because
you?
you bought a house last time.
I know I could have leveled last time, but I bought a house. 4th level now. So
All right.
I have a question about it. I'll put it in Discord about something about leveling.
Okay.
Jason.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. Thanks you all. That was so
Cool.
you guys were all, it's just a total joy to play a game like this with you guys. So thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks,
It was
everyone.
fun.
See you next time.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Everybody,
See you all
be
next time.